Yep.
He's brought one of
Yep.
his better
Yep. Yep.
feeders up there.
That makes a lot of sense.
So always thinking this young man.
The length was short enough there, and Sargent went back to cut. Undone again by the extra bunks generated by the very impressive Parrish. Well, he's produced 2 leg breaks wide. I think he's set him up for the googly here. Let's see what happens. Well, Gittins didn't handle him very well yesterday. In fact, he was put down by the keeper and survived a very confident appeal for a catch at the wicket. Nichols, Bacon, Combermere players thought they'd had their man. And the captain was not at all happy when the umpire field said no. It was a beautiful delivery. It was a googly.
Indeed, he showed his disdain. But Gittins, he's here. It will be a challenge for Gittins. As you said, he wasn't picking the googly at all
No,
yesterday.
not at all.
Paris. But you must say, young Paris, he continues to impress with his accuracy for a leg spinner of this age.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. No question about it. Certainly one for the future. Chance for a catch. Catch taken. So, that's a very important wicket to get. Poor shot by Gittins and he departs.
Indeed, good piece of bowling again there by Justin Paris. You saw him again. That one seems to be a bit of a googly, and you saw him going across the line to the ball spinning away from him. He went for a big hoik over mid wicket. Didn't get enough back. And again, you saw Paris, that ball went into the mid wicket region, and he said he wanted to take the catch himself.
Yeah.
Good movement.
Indeed. Yeah, but I think Gittins, surrendered really in the end. I mean, a mind game as he walks off now. He didn't handle the spin well. And sometimes these guys are not prepared to fight and bat it away. And it was a poor shot. I mean, when you look at it, clearly he had to do better than this. Look at the length of that. Yeah, played across it. That was the googly again. So he's playing against the spin. And look at the captain taking the catch. It's mine. I'm not going to ask anyone else to go after that. I'm the captain. I'm the leader. And this is what has happened. So, Nichols, Bacon, Combermere striking early. Another twist to this wonderful battle, 85 for 4. So the captain comes to the crease now. And these were the two that did it for Milo Lodge in terms of bowling. Can they do it in terms of batting now?
It's a big task. It's a uphill task, if you must say, mammoth. But good bowling again there by young Justin Paris. He continues to bowl those balls in good areas. Again, we said he troubled Gittins yesterday. He come back this morning. First couple of deliveries at him, you can see him just bowling that googly part. Like you said, Gittins just to come to it. He went across the line and sky and one, and a good catch by Paris. But here's the captain, Seeley. He's got a big job on his hands.
Very big job in his hand. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, but getting back to Gittins, I mean, I just think he was at sea to those balls that spun across him. That's where you got to fight and fight it out. And he felt that flirting with danger was the answer. It certainly was not. So, Paris, the ball to Seeley. Seeley gets his first ball. And rather uncertainly comes forward. So the over comes to an end. The very impressive Paris continues. He's got 2 for 22. It's 85 for 4.
Yeah, over success, and that's put another twist to this game because, like we said, it needed a partnership, a further partnership, and more time being spent by the pair coming back from overnight. But rightfully so, Captain Paris, he been bowling well. He deserved more wickets, like you said, overnight. But today he stuck to his guns. The first couple of deliveries, he got the ball to the left-handed get-ins. He bowled the googly. He went across it, ran up the patience, so much to speak, and he lost his wicket. So good bowling and good feeling by himself because he decided he's going to take that catch. He wasn't leaving it for anyone.
Yep, yep. And he looks like a leader too, huh? You know, you see these youngsters very much in control of the team, it would appear, and very astute in terms of his field placing as well. He clearly knows the game, and I'm always heartened when I see that because I've always been, for a long time, critical of captains, like Shea Hope. Saw him captain the Amazon Wars last night. I saw him captain Barbados. I think it was the last year before. Not the best, I must admit. 85 for 4. These guys are not tactically astute at all.
In your turn.
No, not at all. I think we underestimate the importance of a captain. Some people believe that this is just spin the toss, but they can make you win games. Now the battle continues. Here's Hines to bowl to Sargent.
But this is good bowling here again by young Hines as well. He's not giving anything away here, Andrew. He just continues to just bowl down that off stump, just asking the batsman to cause a mistake, create their own mistakes, actually. So
You're right. That was full and wide, inviting Sargent to go after it. He's got a heavily packed offside field. Another wide delivery. Sargent offers no shot. Another day they'd been looking to drive that through cover.
Yeah, so good tactics all round. It just needs Sargent to keep his concentration, just show his patience, just don't chase those wide deliveries. So that's all Hines is asking of him.
Yep.
Come get me. And this is what the game is, Andrew, at this stage. Just a little bit of cat and mouse.
Yep. It is indeed.
You don't want to give too much runs away.
No. And you also want to take some time out of the game too. You've gotten first in his points. You don't want them to run away and maybe give you 120 with a fair amount of time left in the match. So these are good tactics.
I'm impressed.
Full and wide.
Yeah,
Full and
just
wide
continue
again.
there. Just play on his patience.
Yep.
See what he will do.
Yeah.
You know, probably if he gets the ball at the newer batter, then he might get into it.
Then go full in the stumps.
Yeah.
What if he's going to change though and maybe try to go full, try to york him here? Because he's more wide of the off stump. The batsman is not interested. Let's see what he does here. Another full delivery outside the off stump.
Just stick to the plan. Stick to their plans. Good patience.
Yep, this is interesting.
I mean, Andrew, to see this young kid of 14 years old continues to do this, 13, 14, and we're playing the Division 1 in elite leagues, and we're asking our players to do this.
Right.
And they just get so impatient.
Yep, indeed. So 1 ball left in the over. Again, Sargent allows it to go by. Maiden, cat and mouse game continues. 85 for 4.
Yeah, good tactics there being said by the Combermere team. Just continue to bowl outside the outside. You see, because it's likely that if any scoring is going to go on, it's going to come from the bat of Sargent. So any quick scoring goes. So if we can keep it away from Sargent and we can attack from the other end, this is such a good tactic.
Yeah, and I get.
You're speaking about captaincy, Andrew.
Yeah, I get so excited and happy when I see a clear plan. A clear plan. There's no question about a clear plan. And you can see it's very much there. In fact, I was speaking to Corey Edwards, their coach. I wanted to do an interview with him. I think the interview will, in fact, come at the break. But he was making the point that he wanted to get to his guys very early, and they were going to be planning strategy to win this game. And they've executed that plan quite well. This first hour is going to be of great importance. The thing about it is that Milo Lodge have not been able to get away so far. Just 9 runs scored, but they've lost the important wicket of Gittins. Here's Paris to continue with his impressive leg spin. I just think he should maybe attack a little bit more, though. I mean, with the new batsman who looks a bit unsure.
Yes, that much I could agree with. You probably need to get a gully in there.
Yep, I would think so for the balls that leg break bunks in.
And he's got some bunks on it. So
got some bunks on it, yes.
And Seeley seems to be one who's coming forward a little bit early.
Yep.
So you can get one into the shoulder of the bat.
I think the googlies are going to come pretty soon too.
Ball again.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch a lot of local cricket as far as the youngsters are concerned, but I mean, this is impressive. This is absolutely impressive. Look at the control from Paris.
Very good stuff. There you go.
See, there you have it.
There you have it.
Forward short leg in.
As you see, Seeley, he's one who's prepared to come a little forward a little bit early.
With hard hands too.
So yeah, you may be getting some things hitting pretty high in the bat here.
Seeley's eyes open wide there. Thought of the cut, but then pulled out at the last minute. Being watched by his father, Anderson Seeley on the trees there in some brand name shades.
Oh, yes.
Look at that. Look at that. Wow. So, no runs being scored. They've gotten the wicket. And we've now had 2 consecutive maidens, 85 for 4.
Another good control over there by young Justin Paris. The only thing, like you said, we would probably like to see him with a little bit more of an attacking field to Seeley in particular. But good control again by this young man. But the bounce continues, Andrew, to be in his favor, man. Tall young guy, just bowling the ball in good areas, getting some spin, getting some bounce. Very impressive.
This is an important partnership as well because we didn't see too much from the lower order from Milo Lodge in the first innings. I think Sargent understands his role here. He's got a bat.
Right back to his plan. Just working that 5th stump area.
Yes.
Just playing on the patience of Sargent.
What was going through his mind here? These are full, they're juicy. Should I go for that big drive? Normally he would. He's an attacking batsman. But he's allowed those full balls to go by outside the off stump. He plays at that. With no movement across. Didn't cover it well. And missed the full ball.
Yeah, so the plan is very much that. Just bowl him as wide as possible until he commits.
Yep.
He had a little bit of commitment there. Albeit you said he wasn't in a good position to play because I think he's still in that two-minded if he should play all day.
Yeah, even from yesterday. Normally he's an attacking player, but sometimes it can confuse you whether to play your natural game. I think he's, as they were saying, Bob, he's in between. Gets a single. That was short and wide.
Yeah, I think he had a better length this time to have a shot. So that one was short and he was able to get on the back foot and play it into the point area for 1. But again, he just needs to continue to bide his time patiently. Just wait for those short balls that he can score off, and don't chase any of those wide full ones.
Yeah, you're right. So the lead is now 70. I think they need maybe another 30 to try to work with that. I know that, was it Donovan who was saying they 120, 130, Donovan? Yeah. At least another 30 to try and work with that. And the pitch has played pretty good so far. We missed out on a full toss there. Full.
You see, he was just striving for some extra pace. Probably wanted to get the York into Sealy. But that one came in a bit too full. But yeah, another 30 runs would be a good score for this contest. But it's a tall order. It's a tall order. Oh, yes.
I'm told that Sealy can bat a bit as well.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in the first innings, like I said. Showed some good defense. But then after the demise of Sealy and Sargent, it went all downhill. Again, the thoughts of young Paris. He wants to encourage him to go across to the leg side. So you set those guys deep, hoping that you will play across it and continue to bowl a few leg breaks at him. So let's see what goes.
You're right about that assessment. And there he was looking for that leg side. There's a big open gap there, but the ball kept low. This is very good tactics on the part of Parrish. He knows his cricket.
Oh yes, you can see he almost said, "This is the plan. This is what the setup I want." But again, Sargent just needs to stay there because I think Sargent is probably one of the better players who've handled him.
Yep. There you are. There you are.
Andrew.
There you are. A naughty shot.
Sure, his eyes lit up with that one.
Maybe the googly should come now.
It's very well played.
Yeah, I think it tested his patience there.
Yes.
That cut shot was as a result of being stifled, actually. And there was Paris going with the googly.
Yes.
And he got it in the onside, but it was a bit flat and it was at the leg stump too, so there was no challenge there for Sargent. So the mind games continue. What is he doing now? Is he going to continue with the same field here for Sealy? He's got to slip the backward point, the extra cover, the mid-off, mid-on. He's going to bring the forward square into on the boundary out towards forward square, and there's going to be a backward square now.
Oh, yes.
Lovely delivery again. Beautiful control. Overcomes to an end, 87 for 4.
Oh, yes, Andrew. So this leads 71. But good control again there by young Justin Paris. He just continues to bowl these leg breaks on a good length. And he continues to show what control he's got at such a tender age. But as well, Sargent, he's equal to the task. He just got that one delivery that he played that naughty shot too. But the googly came down, it was a bit full, and he was able to work it through the leg side. I was happy that his balance in the middle looks very good there, Andrew.
Indeed. Well, we've had the first half an hour, and it's been an interesting half an hour. Big wicket of Gittins falling to the guys from Waterford. 87 for 4, time for a change of commentators. Lyndon Yard is going to be joined by Donovan Lovell.
very special good morning to listeners and viewers. Good morning to you, Don.
Good morning to you, Lyndon. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm excellent, despite the heat, and I'm very much looking forward to this intriguing battle where the Law School are presently 87 and they'll get one to move to 88 for the loss of some 4 wickets. Effectively, it gives them a lead of some 72 runs, and you were targeting maybe 100, and 100 would be a good chase in total. I would like a 150 to be on the safe side because I think the wicket is a good wicket, and in all fairness, the play having resumed on 76 for 3. They've lost the key wicket of Giddens, who was out soft dismissal after batting so well yesterday and on the first and in the first innings. This delivery stroke to the fielder at cover, and Combermere predictably on the attack. But I think really and truly is a position that they themselves have only themselves to blame, because having dismissed Law School for 97 in the first innings and having all the better part of 26 overs to bat in the first day to complete day one, personally thought they should have been at least 130 for 2 or 3, even if they've surrendered 2 or 3 wickets. But they just laboured and toiled to be 76 without loss at the close of play, which looked good in the circumstances that they hadn't lost wickets. But then before they had reached the 97, they then tumbled, losing 7 wickets because, again, the inability or the approach of not wanting to score just but to bat overs. And I always say that cricket is a scoring game. It's a batting game. Bowlers, I like myself was a bowler, and it's only when I got late in my career realized that this is the hardest thing to do with cricket. Whether you're bowling spin or pace, the hardest thing to do in cricket is when you stroke out to the fielder at that cover position. And there's no addition until 88 for 4. But as I was saying, having laboured the evening in 26 odd overs for 76 without loss, and then came and utilized some more overs, and the inability to score has now found them in this position where they have let the Law School back into the game, and they themselves will have it all to make, because the only way they're going to lift this championship, they have to defeat the Combermere side. So definitely a declaration will be on the cards, but they'll have to do it in a reasonable time. So here is Jahidi Hines, and this delivery stroked and is caught at the cover position. That is young Liam Seeley. And delivery pitched up on the line of the yard stump, and he basically scooted it. Donovan, he didn't drive it, just got on his knees and scooted the ball up, a soft dismissal, and at 88 for 4 now becomes 88 for 5. So you'll say that the rhythm at the moment now going back to the Combermere side.
Yes, certainly. Clearly guilty of not getting close to that ball, reaching to drive. That's the ball went in the air for an easy catch to cover. Really, but the
it looks a little uncertain as whether it was a bomb ball or wasn't a bomb ball. It's just an airy-fairy push or scoop up at driving the ball where it slipped, and they're pleading for caught behind, and the umpire Ernie Fields is not impressed, and the Combermere guys will have to try again. Be interesting to see the replay, but a lazy looking shot there by Shawnico Sargent, who at some point in time has got to take the bull by the horn basically and try to transfer the pressure. He's just playing the survival game, which is really not his nature, and I think he just needs to free himself. You don't have to take the bull by the scruff of the neck, but just free up himself. Here is Paris into him, did he tossed up, and now he frees himself, and it's caught, drop caught. So I did be tossed up, and I think here's a situation where he batted himself into this position. He was just trying to survive rather than looking to work around the ball, rather than looking to get off the strike. And we've seen the 2 not-out batsmen go a very soft dismissal. Shawnico Sargent out for 20, a soft catch. Whereas his opening, his
my ID, they will check my ID. Obviously, it was still pretty fit. Still very mobile and really still batting really well. So I remember playing against him there for the Dover side.
Here is a delivery tossed up. The leg break down the leg side, not taken cleanly by the keeper, Fairbrace, who has had his problems with spin. And that is something, if he's going to go on as a keeper, he needs to work assiduously on his movement and his eye-hand coordination, especially being able to pick the ball. I think that's his major problem. He's not picking the spinners. And as a keeper, you're supposed to see everything. Here is the leg spin of Paris, who's in. The delivery tossed up. And here's the batsman coming forward to a half volley and playing it right in front of him on the offside, and there's no run. The end of over number 42 is 89 for the loss of 6. Milo Lodge in the second innings, having been routed for 97 in response. Nichols, Bacon, Combermere, they're made 113, but they're in the driver's seat at the moment. The lead is just a mere 73, and they will need at least another, in my opinion, another 70 onto that 7. Is a cover, middle is barrel forward, well played. You can hear from the support staff or the support parents from Lodge, who find themselves behind the 8 ball, 89 for 6. In perfect cricket condition, the sun is out in all its glory. It's a humid day. This part of the country, you understand, other parts of the country there is some rain about. None here whatsoever. And this is the BCA under 15 final here at the Rubis ground, Texaco, adjacent to the mighty Grynner Highway. Hines around the wicket, was short delivery and onto the back foot. Barrow stabs it on the offside to the field at the mid-off position. Can't score. It remains 89 for 6, having resumed 76 for 3.
Yeah, certainly Hines continued to impress. 2 for 27. Really looking to make for the inroads as he did in the first innings, trying to dismiss the Milo Lodge batters, but Reese looks pretty solid so far.
Barrow on 1, gets a little bit pitched up and is forward, plays the ball into the where short leg would be. Up from mid wicket comes, that looks to be Butcher Lewis, the little medium pacer. Haven't seen him as yet, and I'm sure he'll be licking his chops to have a bowl, but quite expectably they've gone with the pace of Hines, and the spin sort of gone with the trump cards to get the job done. Hines turns at the top of his mark and is on his way, with Barrow with his bat above the stump, is playing forward down to mid-on, and again can't score. So over number 43 is done and dusted. Milo Lodge in the second innings, 89 for 6, having been dismissed for 97 in the first innings. Don?
Yeah, certainly. But the Milo Lodge side with young Reese and
lunging forward. So the script is written, and the batters are just doing exactly what they're doing, which is surviving.
yeah, that's what they were asked to do, so that's what they're going to do. I figured you should tell them, look to score whenever possible.
As Paris tosses the ball from hand to hand, loses his trail of thought, aborts his run, and goes back to his mark. Right arm leg spinner from the southern end to bowl to Barrow. Barrow plays at the leg break, which spins past the bat into the gloves of Firebrace, and the umpire with that signals to the pavilion, and they suspect that that's going to be a water break coming up. And at the water break, I can tell you, Milo Lodge having resumed 76 for 3. They are now 89 for loss of 6. Reese is not out, no score, and Barrow is on 1. He's just going to get the scorecard for you, what has transpired so far in this innings. And the Gittins, he was caught by Colombo Paris for 35, having faced 106 deliveries. So the 106 delivery, northern end, bowls will be pitched up on the line of the off stump, and there is the batsman forward, plays the ball back to the bowler again, Don, and I'm prepared to call it basically because it's a half volley.
Certainly,
You know, but it's just a matter of you're locking in behind half volley. Just prepare to play defensive. You're not trying to force the ball in the offside, even play with soft hands. 89 for 6, fourth, with the second delivery of the morning is in. Barrow gets a short delivery on the line of the off stump, looks to pull it into the leg side. A stifled appeal. I suspect he might have gone a little bit of bat onto that, but it was not that short. As a matter of fact, it was short enough, but it did not bounce. And at least that's a good intention there for him, because he saw it short, he essayed the pull, the ball kept down, and at least for change, Don, we're seeing some sort of aggression.
yeah, looking to score. The cover next are covered, they're deepish. So that's an easy look in, really.
Here is fourth in, and they be pitched up, and young Barrow on 1, stretches forward, plays the ball into the offside. There's no run, and not a lot of change in the field. A slip in a gully in position, backward point, cover point. There is a cover mid-off, mid-on, wideish mid-wicket, and that completes the field with a fielder at square leg, just behind square, inside what you will call the 45. Fourth, none for 12. This is his 7th over, and he turns at the top of his mark. Slimly built fast bowler. and starts in, goes past umpire Sean Sargent and bowls the delivery, which is pitched up and is bowled in, beautifully bowled. A delivery pitched up and it seemed to have come in with the angle, and the young man in 2 minds not keeping his balance, because we did see him pull his foot up to avoid the ball hitting his foot, which means that the ball had gone past the bat rather than meeting the ball. And here's a situation where he would have blocked 2 half volleys on the off stump. Now he gets the ball a lot straighter inside to the stumps, and he's just looking to move his feet out of the way rather than playing with a straight bat. So further trouble for Milo Lodge. So if you have had your tea so far this morning and you did have a cup of Milo, well, head down to Texaco, because Nichols Bacon Combermere. Head down to Rubis, where Nichols Bacon Combermere, the bread sponsored side, is having the better of the tea sponsored side.
Yes, certainly. Again, no intent to score. Again, as you see the replay, ball passing him full. No intent to look to score. Gaps are there. The cover nets are covered. They're pretty deep. You can just gaps on the onside, so you can come into the wicket. You can get push and get one. You can play the ball to cover. Who's deep? You can run one. Keep the score ticking over. But as it stands now, at 89 for 7, really, Combermere fighting their way back again into this one, really aided and abetted by Milo Lodge. The batters just half volley, full toss, long hop. They just batting to survive as they were instructed by some people on the tree. I would hate to think that the support staff is there giving that advice, but who knows? The children are just following instructions.
Well, the new batsman in is Jaden Bell, just about 2 feet 1. Short man with a big bat. What can he do? 89 for 7. He faces maybe 4'7" in height. Young Khalik Fort. Going back to what I said yesterday when Mimi looked at me, I said Lodge are eyeing defeat. And they're 89 for 7. Here's Fort on the way and bowls to Bell, and Bell is allowing this one to go. Well played by the young man. I like the fact that he pushed the left leg across and pulled the bat high up. But we've also seen some of that, and we've seen no aggression or no intent to score. 89 for 7. The lead remains 73. It has been 73 for quite some time. Reese is yet to get off the mark. He's also been there for some time. And Bell to face his second delivery. Helmeted in a maroon helmet. A slip in a gully in position, kind of whitish. And here's the delivery, which is tucked into the leg side on the good length. And that concludes the first over of the morning from young Khalik Fort. We picked up the wicket of Barrow, and he has 1 for 12, having sent down 7 overs. And Milo Lodge, 89 for 7. The run rate is 1.98. We have 52 overs remaining.
But based on what's coming from the side, it makes no sense to ask them to survive without putting runs on the board, because they will be bowled out eventually, and the Nichols Bacon Combermere will obviously have a toll that they can manage, or they'll be comfortable and confident chasing.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are laboring, they're toiling. 89 for 8, having faced some 45 overs, so less than 2 runs an over. And even at this level, Don, that's really unacceptable.
Yes,
because I think that the kids got to be able to express themselves. And the new batsman in is Zion Toppin, and he sells over his bat with Paris 4 for 24. He's in to bowl to Toppin, and Toppin goes onto the back foot, and you will get a single. The keeper pushed it up. The slip didn't take it, and they got a bye. That one bounced on him, and he was kind of looking to get out of the way, Don. A strange looking shot, which indicates to me he really doesn't have a clue where the spin is concerned. But he jumped at the bounce rather than looking to cover the ball. But importantly, they get a single. 90 for 8. It brings Bell on strike, and this delivery Bell is getting spinning bounce on off of here. And well played by the young man. It ripped across him. It bounced. And for a change, well taken by Fairbrace. Hines has gone behind the stump. I should have known that. There's a major difference in how the keeper is keeping now. And delivery tossed up, full toss is driven. And poor bit of feeling there by the young man who thinks he's a Ronaldo or Messi. Luckily for him, the ball didn't ricochet past him. And that is Hood. No, with number 19 in his back. I think Hood has, with number 19 in his back. And really should have done better Fortune favors the brave there. Didn't give away the extra run. 90 for 8. Bell yet to score. Paris is into him. Delivery which spins right back into him. The googly spins right past him. Spins past the keeper. And the slip has to retreat. They get another bye. So the keeper came up early and he also didn't pick it either. And they are allowed a single. 91 for 8. So they at 91 for 8.
But as I said, I know it's the junior cricketers that they're now learning, and I can understand from that viewpoint. But still, as a coach, if you're selecting a side, I really like to start with my openers, where I have one who's good in defense but can still get the ball away, and one who loves to bat, who can bat almost all the overs. So that's my first two. My best batter will bat at 3, but at 5, I always want to pick someone who can easily get the ball away, who is a confident and a very aggressive player at number 5.
And here is a delivery. Tossed up, and Bell is stroking the ball to that short cover. Topping, sorry. Is stroking the ball to that short cover fielder. And there's no run. So, 1, 2, 3. 6-3 feet for the leg spinner. And spin and bounce. That one spins right across. Topping, not taken by Hines. Took a blow to the chest area. And I think one of the areas that he's been falling down in is that he's not moving young Hines behind the stumps. So he just goes down and he stands up and takes the ball. You see there? And a nice take, but no movement whatsoever.
Just guilty of getting up a bit too early, the keeper. But as I said, early days in terms of development for these youngsters. But you still want to start them the correct way.
Paris is in, and again, spins right across. Topping, who has this problem. I don't think it's a case of picking it, because predominantly I've seen so far that Paris is just prepared to just try one googly, maybe every 2 overs. He's in to bowl to Topping and delivery, which is again the leg break, and Topping looking to flash it through the offside. Gets an under edge, knocked down by the keeper. So Paris with figures of 4 for 24. Bell is yet to score. Topping is yet to score. And it is Topping on straight, and he gets the delivery tossed up. And the googly goes right through him and misses everything. It's pitched on center and past the leg stump. Topping. SA, just a stroke forward. And he's done most of the over. He missed it. The ball missed the stump, taken by the keeper. And at the conclusion of over number 48, Milo Lodge in the second innings, 91. The Combermere fielders to stay alert. And suddenly they've come alert because they're clapping and cheering on the young Khalid Ford, who goes past the young man, bowls the bell. Bell gets the outside in the off stump. He spars at it and taken by the keeper. That one staying down. The keeper almost taking it, say, halfway between his foot and his knee. So shin height basically. Kept a little low, but it wasn't on the stumps. And the student revolving fund, part of the sponsorship of the stream, and carried live on CBC. The BCA under 15 final. Fort is into bowl to Bell, and Bell stabs it into the offside, and there is no run. 91 for 8, level.
Yeah, certainly. Combermere, we will be satisfied with what is happening here. No runs are coming whatsoever. That's good for the bowling side. So they're banking on bowling the Milo Lodge side out and chasing what will be a modest total. Bell continues to be resolute defensive-wise. He's not looking to score, as has been the case for the last 5 or 6 overs. So they really need to get a few more runs on the tin.
Final delivery in over number 49 is on the island of the off stump, and there is Bell looking to push it through the covers. A little more aggression, doesn't make any contact, and it goes through to be taken by the keeper, Jahidi Hines, and that concludes over number 49. Also concludes our stint for this morning, and I can tell you that Lodge in the second is there 91 for 8. I'm just going to leave you some bowling figures. And remember, just to summarize score, Combermere 97. Sorry, Lodge 97 the first innings. Combermere response 113. a lead of 16. And some bowling figures for the Combermere side. Jahidi Hines, 14 overs, 5 minutes, 2 for 27, 14 5, 27 2. Butcher Lewis, 4 overs, 1 minute, and 1 for 9. As this delivery is tossed up and played back to the bowler. Khalid Fort, having sent on 9 overs, so just do this over, and then Andrew Mason will join you and finish the figures. As young Justin Paris seeks wicket number 5. And he's in to bowl to Toppin, and Toppin to this delivery is playing the full toss into the ground, turn it into a Yorker. And I like the fact that young Paris is prepared to even give the ball even some more loop.
Tremendous loop he's giving. He's going high in the sky, as you would say.
Well, he comes in to bowl to Toppin. This is flatter, and Toppin pulls away from it, spars at it, taken by the keeper. So,
but then again, Paris have been allowed to just come and settle from early. No aggression at all coming from the batters.
Toppin yet to score. Paris is into him flat, and he pulls away, looks to pull it through mid-wicket, is not sure which way the ball is going. The ball goes into the gloves of the keeper. So really and truly, young Toppin is at sea, and it's just a matter of whether Paris can get his man. He is on the way into bowl to Toppin, and Toppin is edging down past the slip. He will get one for the 3rd time this over. He's pulling away from the delivery, so it's very difficult to pull away from the leg spinner unless you're looking to line up and pull a short ball. And that's not the case. He's just looking to make some room and still isn't sure which way the ball is going. But what is most important is that he's finally gotten off the mark in his 12th delivery. And the bell comes on the strike. He is yet to score. He's faced some 17 deliveries, and it's now 92 for loss of 8. With the final delivery of over number 50, I will take my break. Or we will take our break after this delivery as Paris is in, and there is Bell stretching forward, plays it to the fielder at the mid-wicket region. That concludes over number 50. And
yeah, we saw in the first innings, we saw Rowan Toppin, and we saw Rowan just being bothered by a few no balls and wides as well. So, yeah, so you would say that Combermere seems to have a more structured kind of a seam ball in attack.
Yeah, I agree with that. And in terms of the batting now, of course, it's Sargent and Gittins. Mason can bat a bit, left-hander. Now, when it comes to Nichols Bate and Combermere, 92 for 9, you find that at the top, of course, you've got Hines. Fort is one that wouldn't give his hand away. Paris can bat a bit. So the two sides, in terms of batting, just maybe 1 or 2 outstanding.
Those things are the guys who will get the majority of the wickets, the bulk of the wickets. So you have to get them in the attack early. I would be pretty much inclined probably to start with someone like Sargent, because he's kind of a tight bowler, and he doesn't give a lot away. He can start flat, and then he comes into his off spinners where he tries to get a bit of turn. But I'd be inclined to start with someone like a Sargent.
Yeah, and in terms of ends, you got, of course, the north and the south. What would you do? Because what we saw happening was that the leg spinner Paris bowled from the southern end and got a lot of bunks and turn.
Yeah, see, he also bowled from that in
and got 6.
Got some 6 wickets in that first innings. But he showed a lot of guile and control. Liam Seeley. So I don't think that the wind was pushing him too much. But from that northern end, you see that someone like Sargent, he was able to control an end and bowl very tidy. So you want someone like that to do a job of that again, where not much runs is scoring from his end, and maybe Seeley can come in and get a bit more of an attack.
Yeah. So interesting. As the players are warming up, the Milo Lodge side with their coach, someone who has been with him for a long time, Clifton Phillips, spent some 32 years in the role as a coach. He was with us very much in terms of the interview yesterday, and he is obviously saying to these guys, look, we don't have a lot of runs on the board, just a small score really to defend, but if I can get a wicket early, particularly the wicket of Hines, Ford is going to defend and can get Paris, who of course is a decent player. From what I saw in the first innings, the bottom of the Combermere side didn't look all that good, as was the case with Lodge. So again, the wicket of Hines is going to be important.
Very important indeed. And Clifton Phillips rightly said yesterday they were going to fight to the end, and you saw on day two, coming into the first hour and a half, they did show tremendous fight. Again, Sargent was tight, Seeley was on the attack, and they would think that if they could dismiss this man Hines early, that they will very much be in it. We know Parisi's got a lot of ability, so that pair especially, that should offer most of
Price.
not surprised at all. Like we said, if they're going to get any inroads into this batting, the two danger men would be Seeley and Shonico Sargent, and they got to go at it. They got to try to get early wickets. They got to try to make inroads, and these are the two wicket takers from the first innings, and I'm sure they'll think that they got the ability to do it again.
So, let me remind you that there's 78 runs for victory. Or
One off target. With a new ball, he's just trying to get some grip on it. I don't think he wants to spin it as yet. He's just trying to get the ball coming out and get it on a good line, a good length.
very well bowled indeed. Lots of air. Bringing Hines, who opens the bowling and the batting for Combermere. Good cricketer.
He's also be having a chance to get the gloves as well every time you see Paris come on.
Good bowling. Good batting too. Good start. They spin very well. It's lucky to have been. Unlucky, I thought, to have been given out yesterday. Looked surprised when he was given caught behind.
Yeah, I'm sure he was a bit surprised with that decision. But first over completed there, Andrew Mason. Liam Seeley just trying to get the ball in the good area. You've seen him not trying to spin too much of them. He's just giving one a bit of loop. Outside of that, he's tentatively a bit flat. But yeah, good start by Liam Seeley and good defense being shown by Hines.
Yeah, first over maiden. So you would expect Shonico Sargent to take it up.
No surprise there, Andrew, that Shonico Sargent is going to open the bowling. But again, it could be interesting to see what type of fields is set. Like you said, the Combermere team, they had a clear plan. They knew how to set the boundaries, to defend those boundaries, and also to attack. So it'd be interesting to see what type of fields they set here going on the attack.
Yep. Well, so far, they've got 4 on the offside, saving 1. There's a backward point. There's a man at cover. Extra cover and mid-off. There's also a mid-wicket as well. Mason seems to be very much a part of the leadership because he's bringing the long on into mid-on.
As good keepers do.
Yep. So here we go. Second over. Wow. Why would you get a run there?
That's too deep. Especially with someone like Khalik Ford, who in the first innings, he didn't try to be too aggressive, so you got to be tight to him.
Well, they've gone with the long on. There's a mid-wicket on the boundary. There's also a man down at a backward point on the more interesting field here.
Indeed, there's also a guy at a long off area, so they've got 4 men on the boundary to Hines when he's on strike.
3 runs. Full toss. Played away down to backward square.
Yeah, another good delivery being delivered there by Sargent. He was wide on the leg stump and full, and it was an easy shot there for Hines. So he's off and running. He's 3 runs.
That was given lots of air push confidently into the offside. Another run scored. Second over gone. 4 without loss.
Yeah, so some 4 runs coming out of that over. Sargent, you see him just going to go a bit on the defensive for someone like Hines. You see him had some 4 men set on the boundary when Hines came into strike. But the easy single that they give to young Khalid Ford in the early exchange the over, I think we might want the ball as a bit tighter to someone like Ford especially.
Yep.
Don't give easy runs away.
I agree with that. And maybe even attack him a bit too with maybe the forward short leg as well. He's a good blocker, but sometimes that forward short leg, that psychological pressure. But they seem to be a bit afraid of Hines by setting a rather defensive field. Now, the mid-off is deepish. The mid-on is deep, conceding a single. And interesting in that there's the backward point, short extra cover, and it would appear as if there's going to be a mid-wicket on the boundary as well. So clear difference in terms of strategy. There's also cover in the boundaries. This is interesting. No, it's a pretty clear plan on the part of Nichols, Beck and Combermere. They had a ring of fields in the offside saving one, and this is a bit of a split field here.
Yes. Unrightfully so, we heard one spectator say you can't defend 74 runs. You got to try to get wickets. So like you said, so someone like Ford, you need to get a couple of men around the bat and try to get them in strike and try to tie him down and get that wicket. So early wickets can add pressure, but right now it's just too easy here. We'll be interested, Andrew, to see at what point they will want to probably attack someone like Ford. Quick delivery.
Very well bowled indeed. Almost Yorking himself there for it.
Just like the action of Sealy, man. He's got a nice off spinner's action. Good guy. Gets nice height and gives it a good loop.
So quiet over. Comes to an end, 5 without loss.
Yeah, Sealy just continues to bowl good areas there. He had one bad delivery down the leg side. Again, he was a bit lucky to get away with that. But you can see again, Andrew, it's not as clear the tactics as someone the team like Combermere. You're not sure if they want to be attacking someone like Ford, defensive someone like Hines. But you just need to probably get a few more men around the bat there when before it's on strike.
Yep, I agree with that.
They just prepared to give Hines some easy singles there, Andrew.
Yep. That's a strange tactics, really, by Lodge. Look, there's a man for Ford on the cover boundary. The backward square is also very deep as well. This is where you got to get your coach involved, huh? You know, this is where you got and Foster's part of the management side here. Got to be there helping these guys. Look at where the mid wicket is. It's no man's land. Hands akimbo, not moving in with the bowler. These are basic things. Was there an edge there? Was there an edge?
Seems to be it was a wide delivery. He played a big drive at it.
Yeah, based on what, it looks as if the keeper is very upset with himself, so there might have been an edge there. Somebody's saying St. Joseph is flooded out. Wow. Lamins, Dark Hole. You know St. Joseph, don't you?
St. Joseph.
What a place, Dark Hole.
Blackman's.
Blackman's as well. Chimborays as well. What a name.
Horse Hill.
Horse Hill. So another over comes to an end. Bright and sunny here at the Rubis Sports Club, adjacent to the mighty Grynner Highway. Brilliant sunshine, 7 without loss.
Yeah, another quiet over there. Just 2 runs in that over. Not a lot of, not too threatening that, but again, like you said, you would like to see a little bit more of an attack if you're going to pose a threat to try to get into this Combermere team's batting. It's very unclear what plans they're going with here, Andrew.
I'm just wondering if they're playing Hines on reputation. I don't know, maybe he's a big hitter. But look at where the deep mid-off is. That was in there.
That was aerial.
That would have been a very good catch had he taken that. Seeley.
A very well ball, giving generous ear. Good flight. Just brand him on the front foot.
Oh, that kept very low indeed. Past the keeper.
But again, very well bowled there. He brought him forward the previous delivery. This time, Hines was happy to camp on the back foot, and that one kept really low. He was a very lucky man that that one was a bit outside the off stump. But well bowled again, Liam Seeley.
Interesting feel. Again, there's a slip. There's also a deep mid-wicket. They've also got the cover on the boundary for Hines here. The over comes to an end. 8 without loss.
Yep. So yeah, so it's just like they're giving them some easy singles here. They just feel setting that they've got. You know, you would prefer to see, like you said, a little bit more of an attacking feel. You know, they've not run away with it, but they haven't put them on.
Now that was hit firmly down to mid-off. And the mid-off is so deep that he was able to pick up a single. Now again, this is where you've got your coaches to just help these guys, because he's in a position that you get a single. Just bringing him tight. Batsman has now come to the exact position. And now if you look at the mid-off is deep. Single is easily taken there. That's gone to the offside. That's gone for 4. Fielder couldn't stop it. It was too short and played away by the captain.
Good shot that by Paris. He capitalized on that short ball. I mean, it was a bad midfield, bad piece of fielding there in the outfield, but a bit too short on that occasion. It was an easy punch through the cover area for 4. Lovely shot.
And the captain has now reacted by putting the fielder on the boundary, but it was all about a bad delivery.
Yep, so another easy single, a bit short again and wide, and he was able to play that one to the past point. But yeah, first couple of balls in this over by young Sealy seems to be on the shorter side. I'm not sure if he don't want to give a bit more air to someone like Paris, but he's being on the short end to the first couple of deliveries.
Lots of air. Played solidly up the pitch by Hines, who's a good cricketer.
Very solid batter. So this is pretty much the matchups here. Sealy to Hines and Paris, as well as Sargent. I think this is the big 4, but it needs to be supported in the outfield.
Yep. I agree with that assessment.
Like that.
So another single, pushed away down to cover for 1, 17 for 1. We're just about 18 minutes away from the break. Time for change of commentators. Lyndon Yard, who certainly had a good little rest. So he's sleeping there, Lyndon. Maybe you didn't quite get to bed early last night.
He's watching Gulfstream.
He was watching Gulfstream. Oh my golly, thought he was watching something else. All right, so another word from him. And that's Andy Payne. We're going to have a double change. Lyndon Yard joined by my very good friend, Donovan Lovell, who got to bed last night by 7.
Yes, thank you. Andrew, indeed, I'm an early bird. Lyndon.
Well, they say the early bird catches the worm. I go there when I get there. And this one is stroked up to long on off the boundary for another single. So you will see that the Combermere side is sitting absolutely pretty. Paris has 7. Jahidi Hines is on 8. And it brings Paris into strike, having lost Khalik Fort, who was caught behind by the keeper, Malachi Mason, after bowling of Shoniko Sargent, who has 1 for 9. An all off spin attack. And Paris on 7 stretches forward to deliver it, which is pushed through and plays it into the offside. There's no run. Remember, the target is 78 for victory, so they're just about 60 short. And we have available, I think there was 43 overs to get that 78. Ball played into the offside. How do you see it, Don?
Easy sailing for Nichols Baking and Combermere. At one stage, Milo Lodge crawled back into it, but they've put Combermere back in front again.
As Paris is driving through the offside, lovely shot, pierces the offside field, will get 1, will turn and come back for 2. Onto it is the fielder from the long off position, and the Paris is up to 9, 20 for 1.
Yeah, certainly. If they can get the wicket of Paris early, and they would figure to be in with a good chance, he is the one who's going to, in my opinion, stand in the way of Milo Lodge winning. So if they can get him early along with a few quick wickets, they can be right back in this game.
Sargent is in, and here's a drive to mid-off, which has come back now in the conventional mid-off position. Started the over a little bit deepish, and this still remains deep really. So you'll be outside the 40-yard circle. Here is Shoniko Sargent from the northern end, and this delivery on the leg stump and whipped away down behind square. Beautiful shot for 4. Delivery ill-directed, and I think that despite the fact,
Because an attack looking to get these wickets, I like to see a man at short leg. I like to see a man at leg gully to put that doubt and question Justin's ability to keep the ball from short leg and leg gully, the case may be. Create that illusion for him in front. Bowl a couple balls tight and see what happens. I bet you have long on, long off, deep mid wicket, man on the cover boundary, sweeping. It suggests to me that you're not looking to take wickets.
well, Sargent to continue. He's picked up 1 wicket, and he continues from the northern end, goes past the umpire, to be tossed up, and there is Paris driving it to the fielder at the mid-off position, which is basically inviting the single, and Paris is prepared to take on that fielder and gets himself an easy single. So quickly, in a hurry, he's gone to 14, and this is the first time in the game that a batsman has actually scored more runs than Ballsy's face. So
Yeah,
you can see the difference already.
Yes, certainly. And if they were to lose, if they were to lose Justin early, they could create a little panic in the camp.
25 for 1. Hines on strike. He has 8 from 27, so he's dropped sheet anchor. And Sargent is in. A full toss on the leg stump. Work to the fielder at mid wicket. There's a deep mid wicket in position as well. So let me give you the feel for Hines. Long off, long on, deep mid wicket. Square leg. Shortish and straightish mid wicket as well. You have a cover, extra cover. Fielder at point, and he locks in behind the half volley, plays it in the offside to the fielder at cover point. There's no run and the slip in position. So the main casually worked up to the field at the long on. Position for his single, his 9th run, and run number 26 for the Nichols Baker and Combermere side, who are in firm control of the BCA under 15 finals against Milo Lodge, who were dismissed this morning in this second innings, and just given the Waterford side 7-8 runs for victory.
But what I would like to see, Lyndon, mid on, mid off. A man at short leg. Give me the slip, give me the gully. Even a fielder in front of the bat, a silly mid off. If they want to take a chance going over the top, so be it. But you have to give yourself the chance of getting that wicket or getting a couple of wickets to keep yourself in the game. But if you have long on and long off deep, the ball on the cover boundary, they're not going to hit the balls then and run easily. I run easy singles.
Seeley's first delivery brings Hines forward. There is no run. 26 for 1. I agree with you 100% because you got to give yourself a chance to get some wickets. Maybe have the long on out, have the long off in, which is to invite him to go to the leg side if that's his stronger side. But the field spread far and wide, and there is a delivery ball at medium pace, fired into the wicket by Seeley. And given the fact that he's accustomed to facing fast bowlers, it really should not and did not bother young Hines, who adjusted and played with very soft hands, and the alertness of Captain Justin Parrish called him through for a single into the offside because the field is predictably deep and just surrendering singles. So they're not going to get wickets by doing that. And Hines is into double figures. He has 10. Parrish comes back on strike. He has 14 from 12 deliveries, 27 for 1 Combermere, as Seeley starts in from the south. And this delivery is tossed up and is stroked to that fielder at the short cover position. There is no run. So even for Paris, the field continues to be spread. The long off and long on come back in conventional, which is fine. There's a sweep on the cover boundary and a deep mid wicket. He's into bowl to Paris, and Paris is stroking the ball to the right of the field at short cover. He has it under control, and it remains 27 for 1. So inviting the drive, and there's a little bit of a gap between cover and point with the sweeper to protect that area, so they're going to give him one. And there's a deep mid wicket with a big gap between square leg and a straightish mid wicket, and now he stretches onto the front foot and runs the ball down to where gully would be, and the fielder station there moves across. That is Gittins, and he feels there's no run. Only contributed 35 in the second innings. Young Gittins, it is here on his shoulders. And here is Seeley, forces Paris onto the back foot. An error committed by the fielder at that cover region allows the single as the sweeper comes into play off the cover boundary. And at the moment, it is all effortless. Combermere, 28 for 1 after the 11 overs.
It is certainly too easy here for Nichols Bacon Combermere. They've not been made to work for the runs at all. In my opinion, they're gifted, being gifted the easy runs with these deep set fields, really. And so once they nudge the ball around, there's so much time for them to get up to the victory target. These fields, I mean, really, I don't understand what the instructions are from the think tank.
What about a bowling change? We've now gone 11 overs of spin. The batsmen seem pretty settled, pretty confident, despite the fact that these are your trump card. You need to get a wicket, so you can't tell yourself you're going to go down with them throughout when we've gotten the first wicket, but ever since then there'll be no terrors, no alarms, no attacking fields, maybe a change of pace.
Yeah, certainly I'll try from Sergeant's end. I'll try the pacer from that end and see if he can give me anything. Cause really, as it stands here, it's too easy for Combermere.
Sergeant turns and rings up his right hand and delivers the delivery on the line of the off stump and played easily by Justin Paris, who was on 15, having faced some 18 deliveries. And he waits on Sargent, who's collected 1 wicket to fall, 1 for 17. He's in, a delivery tossed up, a full toss, hit high in the air. It is safe. The fielder from long on runs back, and he will only run back to retrieve it as Sargent threw up a gift, and Don kind of looked like you're trying to buy a wicket now. And if you're going to do this, you might as well try your fast bowlers, because it's gone all the way. Actually, the umpire, Sean Sargent, changes the signal from 4 to 6. So the first 6 in this innings carries the score. See that ball, the replay, a high full toss, tossed up. And I think he's tossing it at the wrong guy, because Paris is definitely going to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, certainly. The difference in batters, once is a easy chance to score. Paris is going to score for sure. Whereas the Milo Lodge side, they got a full tosses and we're not able to put them away. But a different player.
Now he's right on between the umpire and the stumps. And bowls a Yorker left delivery, which is stroked back to him. There's no run. So interesting move just to change up the angle. But notice he's changed the angle of approach, but he has not adjusted the field. And here he comes. This is Sargent. A delivery tossed up and dragged hard into his instep. And that obviously would have hurt. And you hear the bang of the ball onto the boot. And just grimacing in pain. Now pay some attention to his right leg. I'm sure at the moment, apart from this stinging, is more pride than anything that's hurt. But he should have gotten the majority of the blow because we did hear the echo come back at us. And someone says it's a young man going back. And the score says if young people don't get hurt.
It's really amazing some of the comments you get from the side. That's why you advise your youngsters and try to block them out.
Well, I'll tell you what. In my time of playing at YMPC with Vincent Reed, he always said, never let the enemy know you're wounded.
It's true. It's true. And he brought that same mentality to the Banks setup, Winston. Jolly good guy as it was.
Never show any mercy. Here is Shoniko Sargent with his final delivery between the umpire and the stump. The ball to Paris. Paris gets short delivery and steers it through the offside. And will pick up his 22nd run from his 22nd delivery. Over number 12 is done and dusted. And Combermere marching to victory, seeking 78. They're 35 for 1 with young Jahidi Hines, not on 10.
Paris continues to bat well. He's on 22.
And having said that, we would be going to lunch as the umpires come up and remove the bills. Yes. So 35 for 1. That is the Combermere side seeking 78 for victory. Paris is not 22 at the break of 22 deliveries. With him is Jahidi Hines, the opening batsman, not 10 of some 34 deliveries. And remember, they're seeking a target of a mere 78 for victory. So let me give you the scorecard for the Combermere second innings. Jahidi Hines has said not out 10 having faced some 34 deliveries. Khalid Fort was caught by Mason, the keeper of the ball of Sean Sargent, for 1. Having faced some 16 deliveries. Justin Paris is not out solid as a rock on 22 from 22 deliveries. A lot of batting to come. Extras are mere 2. 1 by and 1 leg by for a loss of just 1 wicket in 12 overs. 35 with out for a loss of 35 for a solitary wicket. And if we could just go back quickly to the scorecard for the Lodge School, their second innings, when they resumed today at 76 for the loss of some 3 wickets. Well, just young Gittins was caught by Paris off the cotton ball. Paris, the spinner, for 35, 160 degrees face. Rowe and DeBoer were both out the evening before for 0 and 1. Mason as well was caught by Brown off the ball of Paris for 20. Today, Sean Sargent labored the wrong without taking full control. He was caught by Daniel Hood off the ball of Paris for 20. That same combination of Daniel Hood utilizing Hines this time combined to move Liam Seeley, who was out for a duck. Reese, young Davian Reese, stayed around for a little bit before he was legged before wicket to Paris without scoring. Barrow labored also before he was bowled by Khalid Fort, who was brought in from the northern end for 1, leaving Jaden Bell not out on 1. He too spent a long time at the crease. Zion Toppin offered a lot by staying at the crease but made little. Contributed just 1 before he was bowled by Fort for 1. And the last man to go, Bellamy, stuck around for 6 deliveries, bowled by Paris for no scores. 93 all out in the second innings. The Milo Law School having been dismissed in the first innings for 97. So in both innings, they failed to make 100 runs. In that innings, the second innings, 14 extras, 10 byes, and 4 no balls. Let me give you some bowling figures for the Combermere side. And they'll come up momentarily. Seeley, the 2 bowlers used today. And this is the Lodge bowling, so we need the Combermere bowling. Here it comes. Jahidi Hines, 14 overs, 5 maidens, 2 for 27. A good game for him. 14 overs, 2 maidens, 5 maidens, 2 for 27. So 6 wicket haul in the game. Butcher Lewis, not seen today. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 9, 4-1-9-1. Khalid Fort, 10 overs, 6 maidens, 2 for 12. Interesting, 6 maidens in those 10 overs, 2 for 12. Justin Paris, 21.5 overs, 9 maidens, 5 for 26. 5 for 26. So he broke the back of the Law School in the second innings. And Stanford, he sent down 2 overs, no maidens, none for 9. As I said, all out for 93, having faced some 51.5 overs. And Andrew, who've joined me, when you look at it, 51.5 overs for 93, so they utilized quite a lot of overs, but the lack of scoring obviously positions the game clearly and easily in favor of the Combermere side. So the match summary at lunch, lodged in the first innings, 97, with Gittins 41, the top scorer. Jahidi Hines picked up 4 for 9. Combermere, in reply, having closed the day at 76 without loss, were dismissed for 113 with Jahidi Hines top scoring 51 on the first day. He didn't add on day 2. And Liam Seeley, the large captain, picking up 6 for 32, a marathon spell and achievement by the young right arm off spinner. And Lodge, having resumed today on 73 for 3, were dismissed for 93 with Giddens top scoring with 35. Paris, again, picking up 5 for 26. Good spell with the right arm leg spinner. Having sent on some 21.5 overs. And I could tell you, at the luncheon interval, Combermere is sitting pretty, just requiring 78 for victory. There are 35 for 1. In the ranks is Justin Paris, the captain, on 22, not out. And with him is Jahidi Hines on 10. Sean Sargent is the one individual from the law school who've picked up a wicket. And that's lunch on day number 3, the third and final day of the BCA under 15 schools cricket final, requiring a further 43 runs. And they have all but 31 overs for which to get those 43 runs. Andrew Mason, where's your money?
And 9 wickets in the bag.
And 9 wickets, where's your money?
Well, my money is in Combermere. I think they should go on to win. I think when you look at the side, it's a pretty good side. They've got good batting and bowling, good captaincy as well. And unless something dramatic happens, they should go on to win comfortably. But of course, we will continue. We're not going to stop. We're going to have our lunch. But of course, we've got an interesting interview lined up for you. Yesterday, we heard from Clifton Phillips, very much the man who's been at Lodge for such a long time. But he also has Teddy Foster, the former Barbados left-arm spinner, who's a Lodge boy. He is very much a part of the management team, the coaching staff. And early this morning, Stephen Leslie spoke to Teddy Foster.
An absolute pleasure to be here at the Rubis Cricket Ground. The final between Milo Lodge and Nichols Bay King, Combermere with Teddy Foster. Teddy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Teddy, you've been involved in sports for many decades. I know you from the time I actually was a young boy running about in the Hinesbury Road, Carrington Village area. You were involved with the cricket aspect, but tell me a little bit about your sporting development in the Carrington Village area and the fact that you represented this national sporting team in more than one discipline.
That's right. I started mostly as a cricketer, but then I developed, by being on the Weymouth area, I developed my football skills. All of my family played 2 sports or more, so it was easy for me to fill in and get the feel of it and do the same thing that they did. But I went a little further than them because I represented Barbados both in football and cricket at youth level, and then represent Barbados in the Shell Shield. So that was very good to me. I was looking for a West Indies player too, but that never came.
One of the interesting things about being prolific to play both football and cricket at the national junior level, could you tell me some of the names that would have played definitely in the game of both football and cricket during those days?
Well, in that time, Emerson Trapman was captain of the under-19. We had Wayne Daniel, a guy called Nigel Chase, Julian Roach, Slocum. We had a lot of players in the cricket team that went on to do good at first division level, and a lot of them went to senior level. In football, boy, there's a lot of them. Gus Sandiford, Anthony P. Anna Prescott, uh, Carl Edgar, David Harper. Beautiful footballers. But the footballers never had the exposure. So most of the time, the footballers after junior football, they seem to leave the limelight. Very few went on to play, at that time, professional soccer.
But when you look now and you fast forward to modern day, you've been involved with the Lord School as some people call you the assistant coach, some people call you the consultant. But these young players now being exposed to, showcase the sporting talent, but your involvement in it, what pleasure does it bring to you working with these young boys?
First of all, it keeps me young and open-minded because they're very, very hard to deal with at sometimes. So you have to bend over backward to see their point and bring their point to them the way that you see it. So it's like being a psychologist at the same time as being a coach. But it works out well because in the end, the game is all about them now. They would ask me, sir, how did you do this or how did you do that? Could you show us something? But as you see just now, there's not much showing in my knees and my joints. But it's all good. And I feel good to know that I am still a part of it and they still appreciate me the way I wanted to be appreciated.
Well, we're here beginning of the third day of the match, and the game is evenly poised. It could go either way, either the Lord School or Combermere. Your feeling for the opportunity that these young men have is being broadcasted live on CBC TV. We're carrying it via live stream, so every moment of their performance is being actually seen by many others. But how do you feel about the fact how these young men have expressed themselves over the first 2 days of this match?
Very good. I feel very good about it. And even at this age, a lot of them have had exposure either at Center Excellence or Barbados exposure, which means that they have traveled with a Barbados team and they gel good together. Sometimes we have to force them not to be so friendly with the opponents, but that is part of their growing up and thing. But I feel real comfortable with the amount of talent, and as long as we get the discipline into them and they see the right path to take, I have no fear whatsoever for our cricket.
And finally, Teddy, you are involved in coaching, as we know, at Law School, but you do lend some expertise, I understand, too, at the BCA from time to time.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
But this because BCA now is full of coaches also, and to get a chance to be involved, Mr. Coppin was very, very happy to see me around there, and Mr. Springer also, because they were urging me every time to come and put my hand in there and help. But it's good to be associated with the system, knowing that you got the backing of the people that have the system at heart.
Well, I want to thank you very much, and we wish the Law School all the very best. And Combermere will obviously try their best to retain the championship later today.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie, but it's beautiful being here.
Definitely.
You got me sweating.
Take care,
Thank
man.
you. Okay, thank you.
This afternoon, we are here with Corey Edwards, who is currently the coach of the Nichols Bacon Combermere. Corey, how are you doing?
Hi, not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing quite good. Corey, the fact that this on the 15th final being actually contested here between two of the better performing teams, how have you seen the first 2 days going generally from the talent scene on the field of play?
Well, I feel it's a pretty even Stevens at this point. Obviously, on the first day, we took for first day honors. But as being an old lodge boy myself, they fight back for a living. So they came back into the thick of things. It was a real dog fight for first innings, and it's really good to see how the fellas really stood up and really took to that challenge. Right? Obviously, they didn't know that Lodge is a worthy adversary.
Yeah, and it's interesting you talk about how the first day honors went to Combermere, then you had the fight back by Lodge. The fact that the game is so evenly poised with Lime, which people sometimes call Gladiola, different names. But you represented this country at first class level. The experience of being able to play for Barbados, how was that?
I mean, obviously, it's an honor to anyone to play for the 166 square miles. That's what I hope that all the other youngsters coming up would understand. There's a lot of talk of people saying not being loyal to the territory as it is the West Indies and the other territories around, but to play for one's country, to be one of the few people that play for one's country, you gotta take that serious. Obviously now, try to give back like what I'm trying to do.
Well, you talked about playing for your country, which is national pride. You saw, like most people, the development of franchise cricket, particularly T20 cricket, where there's a lot more movement now of players. How have you found even the youngsters you're working with? Do these young men see development to national cricket as important as maybe development to franchise cricket?
Sadly, not as much as they should. But obviously, it's still good to have competition because now is a wider net cast now for a fella to play cricket professionally. One time, the be all and end all was West Indies and Barbados. Now you can go and play somewhere in Zimbabwe. You can play in England. Look at young Jacob Bethel.
Yep.
So good luck to him on his journey. But really and truly, it is really competitive now to have all these different avenues for the kids to aspire to. I mean, look at what Vasco Duets did. Vasco Duets went further afield and then came back and still play for West Indies. So it could possibly work out for us in the end.
Interesting you say that because as a person involved in coaching, I would like to have an idea of your general ambitions for yourself as a professional. Playing for a class cricket was one thing, but now your coaching career, what do you look forward to achieving in the not too distant future?
Obviously, try to make a difference. Anyone you work with. I don't really want to see myself as being pigeonholed as one type of coach. I mean, be able to move in and around. Like when I recently had a stint in Bahamas, I went down there and did the junior program and the women's program, and then I also went overseas to Cayman and I did some coaching, and then I also went on to Mexico to do my ICC level 1 course, and I also am a ICC level 1 qualified tutor coach, right? So obviously, anything to do with coaching, anything to do with giving back, I see myself obviously trying to go down that path. To be honest, because I've coached mainly youngsters, that doesn't mean that I can't have a hand in the bigger boys as well. But I see it like as they grow, I will grow with them and we can advance up the line. But you just want to make sure you effect some positive change from this stage so that then we can see a different brand of player for Barbados and West Indies.
Well, and finally today, as we said, this is a 3-day final being played here at Rubis Sports Club. It's being televised on CBC TV. We are also carrying out live stream. How do you feel about the prospects of having an outright result on the field of play as we go into this final day?
Well, it's a possibility because at the end of the day, Lord's going to do what Lord's going to do. And we obviously will be waiting in the wings for when they do that. We just got everyone got to hold a nerve, and really and truly, it's still good to see that it's still alive on the third day. It didn't want to be a full blowout. Obviously, Mr. Phillips, is I can remember when he was going to school. He said it is not the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog.
Oh yes.
And I got 2 dogs that I got fighting them.
Oh yes.
You understand? So, at the end of the day, whoever wins, at the end of the day, I still glad to see that cricket is alive and obviously it has interest on the last day as well.
Well, good conditions here. Corey, we wish you at the Combermere School and also the other opponents at the Law School all the very best. And hopefully at the end of the day we will have a very good closing day of this contest.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Tremendous work there by Stephen Leslie, not only the manager of marketing and communications, but seems as if he's also a good interviewer, seems as if he's a good journalist. So, the players will come back onto the field pretty soon, and I thought it was important to find someone who not only went to the Lodge School, very good keeper indeed, one who does commentaries Saturday after Saturday, has been involved in cricket in a very long time, former YMPC keeper, Wayne Holder. Hello, Wayne, nice to see you. You're looking as young as ever. What are you doing? Are you jogging in the morning like myself?
No, I'm in the gym.
I like that one indeed. All right, now, give an assessment of the game so far. Your side is under some pressure.
Very much so. The Combermerians are in total control at this point in time. And it was a game that fluctuated somewhat. If you go back to the beginning, Combermere dominated the first day without doubt, dismissing Lodge for 97 and then reaching 76 without loss by the close of play. And one thought that the Combermerians were going to just from there simply run away with it. Lodge came back though in the true Lodge school style.
Yeah.
Really
Good second day.
Yeah, had a very good second day. Got themselves back into the match by restricting that lead that the Combermerians were able to get to only a matter of 16 runs. And again, promisingly placed yesterday, leading by 60 at the close of play. But they came back this morning, and I thought that Combermere played a very, very clever cricket. Realizing that the Lodge School had to make the pace.
Right.
Because having taken first innings honours, obviously Combermere were in the driver's seat. And I think they frustrated the Lodge boys. That policy of bowling the medium fast bowler,
bowling wide,
and asking the Lodge school players to come after it. Initially, they fell into the trap, not looking to score. In the meantime, the leg spinner, this guy Justin Paris, he's a top player.
Oh,
he's
top.
He's a good player at this level, and I mean sometimes you don't want to sing these youngsters' praises too early. But
you can see the ability, the potential.
At this particular stage, I mean, you got a youngster bowling wrist spin, right?
Which is a rarity.
First of all, and with such control. Being able to put the ball in the right places consistently, he really impressed me. So between himself and the policy of bowling that wide or something like frustrated the Lodge boys, and you saw it eventually. The left-handed guy Shakibo Gittins, who was the best. He would have been Shabiko Gittins. Shakobi, right, that youngster. He looked like the best of the Lodge players, but then he fell for the trap. He got frustrated and looked to go over the top with Paris. And once his wicket fell, the floodgates opened.
Yeah, indeed.
And Combermere ran through the Lodge, found themselves with 78 to win, and now at the break, 35 without loss, just a matter of just over 40 runs, and it is looking very
So they should go on to win then.
It is looking very
quite
much
comfortably
that way.
so.
It's looking that way.
Yeah. I just want to spend some time on Paris. You made a good point. We tend to sing the praises of these youngsters early, and as your good friend Keith Holder would say, let the cricket play. But he's got ability. What I liked about him was his leadership. Field placing, he understands the game. And look at the policy to bowl into Sargent, who's supposed to be a good player of spin. He kept him very quiet, then produced the googly. The last ball of the day's play yesterday was a googly, and the only thing that saved Sargent was the height. And then he came back today. Very good control. It's very often that you see a lot of leg spinners with bowling bad balls, but his control is great.
Well, yes, and you talk about his captaincy. I thought very, very level-headed, very calm.
Very strategic too.
Again, he recognized that he was ahead of the game. He slowed the game down.
Yes, he did.
Took his time. You know, and like I tell you, that pressure kept building up on the opposition. You know, so he is one not only in actually executing his play as an all-rounder. Maybe you've seen him batting.
Can bat as well.
He looks a cut above this level.
Oh, he does. He does.
Fantastic as a captain. I was really impressed with that area of his game too.
In fact, he actually played at the elite level and made 47.
Well, yes.
So he's a good batsman.
And he's also part of the first division team for Barbados.
Yeah. No doubt about his ability. I expect him to go far. And I'm so happy to see people thinking the game. As I said a long time ago, I get so frustrated when I see people not thinking the game at all. But he obviously understands the game. So apart from young Hines, whose father, by the way, would have played for Barbados.
That's Paris, Jason. Jason Paris is
certainly.
But you've called the right name.
Yeah.
The guy.
Hines.
Hines.
Oh.
Yeah. Jahidi Hines, he's another good player.
Oh, good player. Bat and
very,
bowler.
very aggressive,
Mhm.
you know, and very positive.
Yep.
In his, you can see he knows exactly what he's doing. He bowled in the first innings, and he came back for a spell
Right at the stumps.
after
Yorkers.
he came back after the break with a spell that he was beating the batters for pace.
Yeah, indeed.
That you know
Yeah.
that says
And at
something
that level
about
to
him.
bowl
And-
that
and-
quickly. Yeah.
And then to my surprise, he walked out to open the batting and took full control of the.
Not only that, but he also kept.
I didn't even recognize
No,
that.
he also kept as well. Yeah, he's me of someone like a Wickham that can do anything in cricket.
Do a better thing.
So apart from these youngsters that we spoke of, Sargent, we know of his ability, we know of the ability of Seeley. Any other cricketers in this tournament that would have caught your eye?
Well,
in the
honestly,
finals?
honestly, I didn't see a lot of the tournament, but I can't say there's Seeley, as you mentioned.
Liam Seeley,
Liam
his father Anderson.
Yeah,
good left arm spinner from Banks.
Yeah, man, and Seeley had some variety. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
impressed with. It. Not
Got
the
6
normal
wickets as
run-of-the-mill
well.
off spinner. I actually saw an arm ball coming up.
Yes,
You know,
indeed.
He has these different changes of pace, but then again, he's
And
got
Paris
a-
bowled the googly.
He's got a good shooter.
Yeah, yes,
In
indeed.
his dad, who was a prolific wicket taker.
Got 98 wickets one season.
One season. So you can see the pedigree coming out there. But outside of that, though, I'm still fairly concerned about the quality of the batsmanship that
Yes,
I saw.
talk about that.
generally, You know, because the youngsters, a lot of them, fairly comfortable with the basics. But when it comes to, I've always believed that batting in cricket is about making runs.
Right.
And you've got to be able to get the ball away. You've got to be able to improvise, rather than just be the normal up and down basics. Although we saw a very crucial innings played for Combermere on that second
Firebrace.
day. The youngster
Yeah,
Firebrace.
in fact, we spoke about it. Batted for about 89 balls,
yes.
and he was able to get Combermere in a low-scoring game. That lead of 16, it looks small, but very, very important. I agree with you.
Yeah,
That was a good knock, particularly after Hines departed and Paris. He batted for quite a long time and got them
And
to first innings points and that lead of 16 as well.
Very much so. I mean, it was one of those stages of the game, when I reflected on it, I said, he was slow.
Yeah.
Both himself and his partner. 'Cause you had another, I can't recall the name right now, but there was another youngster that batted with him in that 8th wicket partnership.
Right.
I think the youngster faced about 40 balls too. And these two, although the cricket was slow, the cricket was intriguing.
Intriguing.
It kept your interest, because sometimes we get carried away if we're not seeing runs scored.
That is true. That is true.
But that is the difference between real cricket and what they call white ball, the white ball game. In real cricket, you have these flows, ebbs and flows, and that was I thought that although the runs were not coming, it wasn't exciting cricket, but it kept your interest. It kept everybody here gripped. To see Combermere just eke out that first innings, and I thought that those two youngsters did a very fine job.
The word intriguing that you use just now is the correct word, because we also had an intriguing battle late on the second day with Gittins, the left-hander, who's a good player, along with Sargent, facing up to some good medium pace from Hines, and particularly the leg spin of Paris. That was intriguing because they were able to, in terms of batting towards the end, they didn't get out. They got out very, very early on this morning. But certainly, had maybe Sargent gone or even Gittins yesterday, it would have been a different game. Well, in the final analysis, they didn't do much today. But I also thought the last half an hour or so intriguing towards the end. The last over, Sargent, who's a good player, spin, facing up to Paris. And then that last ball was the googly. And in fact, went on the back foot. And the only thing that saved them was height. But overall, a good battle. The umpires are beginning to come out now, but one would think that when you look at the scores, the Combermere team should go on.
And we need him very, very quick right arm off spinner of a very short run. Goes in with a silly mid-off in position, and the ball bubbles. And the offside to the left of that silly mid-off. No run, no dangers. Slip in position, Gittins, as he has been for the better part of this innings. And here is Paris, waits on Seeley, gets a short delivery, looks to flash it through the offside. Doesn't make any contact, not taken by Malachi Mason. And there's no run, the run rate 2.92. And the rate required, an easy 1.35. Seeley, looking for his first wicket in the second innings, with his side eyeing what possibly would be a heavy defeat. Large dark cloud to our extreme right. It is very heated and humid down here at Rubis, Texaco. And that's a dot ball. Seeley rubs the ball
quite nicely, and really, as I said before, easy sailing here for the Combermere side. We saw the introduction of a silly mid-off after the break, but I would like to see both men in front of the bat. Bring your long on or long off to mid on or mid off. If they want to clear it, let them try to clear it, hoping that you can get someone to miscue and you can get a wicket.
Well, Hines has 10, and it's going to be Shanico Sargent to continue. And he's the lone wicket taker in this innings. And another 40 runs required for victory. And here's Sargent on the way into bowl to Hines, who has 10 against his name. And the first delivery brings Hines onto the front foot. Plays the ball out into the offside. And there's no run. Hines having faced some 35 delivery. And for his 36 delivery, he goes onto the back foot and strokes it to the fielder at cover, who got himself a little wrong-footed. Recovers and gets some assistance from Sargent the bowler. Slip in position. And he goes down as this delivery is tossed up, and there is a straight drive, very, very straight. The fielder at long on is 3/4 of the way and has no chance but to chase and retrieve. And the first sign of aggression from Hines, his first boundary, he moves to 14 from 37 deliveries, 41 for 1, and I get the impression that he's not going to hang about now.
Certainly that one, I'll give it a little bit of air. He got close to it and one flowing motion through down to long on for 4. So he looks as though he's going to go in now to probably third gear, young Hines.
Well, with a twist of the right arm, here is a poor bit of fielding by the fielder at the cover region, allows Hines his 15th run to a pitched up delivery, just stroked it through the cover there, the fielder at the cover region. And that's been one of the areas where the Lord School have also not helped themselves with some very, very soft misfielding, with the best way to put it. And some catches has also went down in the first innings as well.
They're certainly not doing themselves any favors at all in the field. Some easy balls that they should be getting behind. I remember put your body on the line. It's a final that you're trying to win. So you got to make sure that you save every possible run here, making Combermere fight for every single run, hoping to make some inroads into the batting lineup.
So Silly Midoff comes in front of the bat, and Sargent between the umpire and the stumps bowls a delivery which is cut to the fielder, who tumbles to his right at backward point. And a good bit of fielding by the young man, sporting a green cloth in the back of his trousers. Did you carry the cloth on your trousers in your younger days?
Never did.
No, what's the purpose of it?
No shades, no towel, nothing.
Just beat ball. Here is a lofted drive, lovely shot, and over the cover region, and we'll run out close to the boundary. Pulls up inside the boundary, and 2 runs attained by Paris. So already the pressure has been transferred even further on the Combermere side. Over number 14 of 43 available comes to an end, and it is all fours, 44 for 1. Hines has 15, Paris has 26, the target is 78. And is there a way back for the Law School?
I would say no, and I'll tell you why. Runs are coming easily here, 1. 2, body language and 90% of the players from Law School, to me, don't suggest that they believe they still have a chance. It seems as though to me they've given up based on their body language. Not doing themselves any favors in the field. Too many balls easily going past the fielders, gifting free runs to Combermere, so to speak. And Justin Paris is still there.
Well, I can't agree with you more. However, I would want to try someone else. You went with these 2, which is your 2 best bowlers, before the luncheon interval. The fields weren't attacking fields, so you made it very, very easy for the for the Combermere batsmen. And now with their main batters firmly entrenched, you continue with hopefully your magical bowlers. But you would want to try something. You got to try something to get wickets. You just can't go down hoping. Here is Seeley's in, and onto the back foot goes Hines, who's sporting a red towel at his right hip, and that's a very dangerous area. I'll tell you why, because we've seen in Test cricket prior to that sometimes you might have on a wristband or your glove might come loose, and then there's a little bit of a noise. A peel goes up for catch, caught behind, and the umpire just gives it up. Sometimes, mind you, should be giving it on what you see, but that little noise can make a big difference. So, although there's no wind blowing, a very strange area where he has it tucked in his pants, but I guess he's comfortable with it. He has 15, and to this delivery, he is turning it into the leg side for his 16th run. The fielder from 4 short legs after it. And Nichols Baker Combermere, 45 for 1.
Yeah, sometimes too, it's really about superstitions. But some batters, some cricketers, like myself, I would always put on my left sock first.
Why?
And they had to be black.
Why?
Because I believe that once I did that, I would have been good to go. Sometimes it's just a little superstition, really. So it's just to get you in a comfort zone, really. So everything had to be right before you went to do battle.
No, 6-3 field, slip in position, silly mid off, backward point with his hands on his knees, cover and extra cover, mid off, mid on, straight mid wicket and a deep mid wicket. Seeley's in, and onto the front foot comes Paris for his 31st delivery. Strokes it into the offside, and the batting is absolutely easy. But the ground staff here must be commended for the pitch preparation. It really has been a good cricket pitch. And onto the back foot goes Paris, and they look to glide it into the leg side. Ball hits the pad, there's a peel, but clearly from here seem to be going down. Umpire Earnley Fields, I think, agree with me, or I agree with him, because I got to go based on what he does, what he says. He's in a better position, and here's a delivery tossed up and driven. The fielder at the cover region turns and runs behind it, turn and come back for 1, be back for 2. And a poor bit of feeling. Unlike the Combermere side, where those fellas had numbers on their shirts. The shirts here of the Milo Law side just carry the Milo logo in the back. And it is up to 48 for 1. So the landmark approaching will be that of 50. And Paris stretches forward, plays the ball past the field at the silly mid-off position, and there is no run. So just about 2 deliveries remaining in the 16th over, the 4th after the lunch break. And it's been way easier sailing after lunch. Here is Sargent between the umpire and the stumps, and here's a dry, glorious shot through extra cover. Will it get to the boundary? The outfield is thick, but not thick enough. Magnificent shot, tossed up, looking to buy a wicket. And all the elegance and poise of the left-handed Justin Paris hit it through the covers, along the carpet. He moves to 32. 50 comes up, 52 for 1. And no doubt about it, but Combermere are on their way to victory.
There's certainly a very good-looking shot there by young Paris. He's been driving a very good driver of the ball, getting close to that one. But the most important thing is head was over the ball. Balance was good. Something was good. So any coach seeing that will be pleased, and they did a fine shot. And it raced away between cover and extra cover and into the boundary for 4. Sargent, as I said before, I would like to see the change from that end. Young Seeley is going to continue from the south, but it'd be interesting to see if a change comes from the other end, as they would say, easy sailing, as easy as baking a Betty Crocker cake here. Really, Lyndon, for Combermere.
What is the Betty Crocker cake?
It comes in a box. It's a cake mix. You just open the box, throw it in a pan, mix it with some water, or even some milk. Bum in the oven, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Easy.
Bum in the oven, not blow up the oven.
No.
Delivery played in the offside for a single. Soft hands by Hines. His 18th run, 53 for the loss of 1.
And also, Lyndon, that cake is easy. And now there are also some eggs on the market. Must get some for you. You just put 2 eggs in the oven and quick at 150 degrees, and within 10 to 15 minutes you have a whole chicken. So I'll get some for you.
Repeat that in slow motion after this delivery. I'll have to record that. Young Sealy makes adjustment to his field. Slip. Silly mid off, go down. Short backward square. Short mid wicket, deep mid wicket. Mid on, mid off. And this one is turned into the leg side. The fielder from mid wicket goes to his left. You were saying?
Yes, the eggs are on the market. Now I'm going to have to get 2 for you. You just get up, put 2 eggs in the oven, and within 25 minutes you have 2 whole chickens ready to use.
Here's the batsman coming forward. I don't go to the supermarket too often, so there's new eggs to me. I normally buy my eggs off the highway.
These
53 for
are
one.
special eggs, Lyndon.
Oh, the special eggs.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
get 2 fowls for 2 eggs?
2 eggs, just put the 2 eggs in the oven, just like that. Set 150 degrees, and then you have your whole chickens ready to eat.
Here's a drive through the air, through cover for 1 by Paris. He'll come back for 2, go close to the boundary, and overhauled by the fielder. So Paris is up to 34, and Combermere in the process of over number 17, 55 for 1. Another 23 required for victory. And we've had a consistent crowd throughout the 3 days. And given the fact that this is the first week of school resuming in Barbados after the Easter holiday. And Sealy, who picked up 6 for 32 in the first innings, wicket less in the second innings, looks for his first wicket, comes into bowl to young Paris, and Paris is driving a full toss, lovely shot along the carpet, will take 1, will go close to the boundary, overhaul once again, and Paris is back for his 36th run. So he has 36, and it is now 57 for 1, but 2 good drives they're done.
Yeah, certainly looking the part, looking to remain aggressive, looking to remain positive, looking to score the intent that they to score, and that's very, very important. You see the difference between Paris and the Milo side. He's constantly looking to score runs.
He sails over his bat, Sealy's into him, but did be tossed up, and he works it to the fielder off the mid-wicket boundary, who's in very quickly, and helps himself to an important single. That single carries him to 37, and it is now 58 for the loss of 1. 17 overs done and dusted, and Nichols, Bacon, Combermere, they're 20 runs away from lifting the Barbados Cricket Association under 15 title right here at the Rubis ground, adjacent to the mighty Grynner Highway.
Yeah, certainly on the way, smooth sailing. Nothing should derail them at this moment. But I tend to question the think tank of the Milo Lodge team without being overcritical. But I wonder what the instructions were, because you saw earlier with they're looking to put runs on the board. Still, everyone was ultra defensive, knowing full well that they had to put a big score on the tins, trying to defeat Combermere. But no one suggested that they wanted to score. They got some full tosses. They got some long hops, as they will say, and they simply were in ultra defensive mode. So it made it easier for Combermere then. Once they dismissed the other batters, it was easy sailing for them, as you can see here. 58 for 1 suggests to me that Nichols, Bacon, Combermere are large and in charge. They are on their way to lifting this trophy, unless something miraculous happens here. I don't see no one stopping them from being victorious here.
Well, we saw the emergency fielder come out onto the field, and during that process, young Malachi Mason has become very, very agitated, and he's saying you don't need any slip. Sergeant will continue. He has that slip, and a silly mid-off and a forward short leg. And this delivery is turned past the keeper. The slip has to run after it, and Mason not at all impressed with this bowling, and he'll come back for 2. Let's wait and see if there's a signal from the umpire. And there's a signal of bye. So Mason is so agitated that his concentration went and didn't move behind the ball, and allowed 2 byes to the cause of the Combermere school. 60 for the loss of 1, with Paris on 37 has a strike, and the sergeant to continue. Now back over the wicket. And Bowles delivery which is stroked past the field at short mid-off. And they will get an easy single run, number 62. So you were calling for a change from Sergeant N, but they will take a double change. Because really and truly, this is very, very easy.
Yeah,
you see, you can predict what the bowlers are bowling. I think they've gone through all of their armory. Almost bowling pretty flat, pushing through the deliveries. And unless they're prepared to just go down and die with these two, well then, I guess that seems to be it then.
Yeah, certainly, because nothing at all is happening. They're not creating any chances, no near misses, anything. So they're probably just intent of bowling until the runs are off, and really it makes no sense to me. But they are out there, the captain along with the think tanks on the Milo Lodge side. Obviously, they have different plans. They know what they want to do. But to me, they're making it too easy for Combermere.
Almost a non-existent field here. A straight mid-wicket, a deep mid-wicket, a long off, cover, extra cover, backward point, silly mid-off, forward short leg, and Hines is across the stump, plays the ball on the onside, and there's no run. So there's no mid-on and no square leg. So a 6-3 field, but a very awkward-looking 6-3 field indeed, because it's difficult to pick up the plan here. The plan is to bowl on the off stump, but there's so much real estate, and unless he has immaculate control, then, like I said, this is meet and drink. The ball ricochets off the bowler's hand into the stumps. Luckily, Parrish was sitting in his ground as there was Hines driving a full toss, turn it into a Yorker, and he would have gotten value for that there had he gotten it past the stumps, because there's no mid-on or long on in position. It's a straightish mid-off. 61 for 1. 2 deliveries left in over number 17. In over number 18, which means they will both bowl 8 overs. And 61 for 1. Sargent, the wicket taker, 1 for 39. And he steams into bowl to Hines. Hines goes on the bat and flashes it through the cover region. That will run away for 4. Short delivery outside the line, the off stump. And he opened up his eyes, opened up his defense, and smacked it through the offside. Short ball, given room and width. And 4 runs carries Hines to 22 from 48, delivery 65 for 1. Combermere pressing on the accelerator.
Certainly a very good shot, given the width, given the arms, and he played it wonderfully. Really delivered the axe to be treated that way. He did just that. Sargent now makes the adjustment in terms of the field. He's now putting the man on the cover boundary sweeping.
And loads of confusion there, because Sargent pushes the man on the boundary and Mason shouts at Sir about the man going to the boundary, and the ball's delivery is driven hard into the fielder at the Sealy top in, who was feeling at that silly mid-off position, but all is well that ends well. And I think with a mere 22 runs to get, actually not even 22, 12 runs to get, I think they could well disperse with this mid-off, this silly mid-off and the forward short leg, because the bowlers really aren't threatening. So I think it's just a matter of just going through the process now, and prevention is better than cure. I think at the moment the pride of the Lodge boys have been dented, and they are very much on their way to defeat 65 for 1.
Yeah, certainly. We see the fielder going off. That is topping.
Yeah, I think you could actually pull both fielders from the front to back basically.
At this point, he was struck. Really nothing, as you said, quite rightfully so. I think it's too far gone now. The game is certainly out of the hands of Milo Lodge. Combermere are entrenched in terms of victory, and they're certainly seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is for them to lift this trophy for this year. You see the replay.
A nice knock at all to get, and it was a full-blooded drive.
Yeah, certainly. Let's hope that he's
all is well with the young man.
We can see in the distance he's
being escorted off by Clifton Phillips, the coach, and his
so he seems to be
backup
okay
staff.
from here, so that's a good sign.
So it's going to be Sealy to continue, with Milo Lodge just 12 runs away from being crowned the 2024 BCA Under 15 School Champion. I think it will be a retention of their title. And the boys from Waterford, as is heard regularly on Mason And guess, up and on. And here's Paris. And I also want to thank the Students Revolving Loan. Student Revolving Fund. I don't know if you've gotten a loan from them, Donovan.
Oh, no.
Here is a sweep high in the air. Square leg is interested. It will land safely, so the emergency fielders come on, wearing some bright orange shoes. And 2 runs to Paris. So he races to 40. 67 for 1. And we are now just 11 runs away from victory. Seeley, he sent down some 9.2 overs, no meters, none for 20. He's been tight, but he's unable in this innings to penetrate.
Final column.
Yep, or get anything in the column that matters most. He's in, and he wins the battle there by inducing a fourth shot from Paris, who will get 1 run in the dark. Ball coming off the inside edge and going down to fine leg unprotected. And with that single, Paris is up to 41, 68 for 1 over number 19 in progress. And we are just about 10 runs away from a comprehensive win by Nichols Bacon Combermere. That bakery in just above Lears. You know that bakery? You know the Nichols Bakery?
Yeah, certainly.
Where is it they're called?
Some good product in that bakery.
Nichols Bakery. Nichols Bacon Combermere. It's always good to have sponsorship. Sponsorship is essential. And Seeley still makes a field adjustment. Hines on straight. He has 22. And he stretches forward, thinks about a single, takes a few exploratory steps. And the leg side is square leg alongside the umpire. Deep mid wicket. Mid on, mid off. Kind of deepish still. Cover, extra cover. Backward point, slip go down. And Seeley's in to bowl to Hines. And he bowls a short, flat delivery. And Hines, with soft hands, brings the fielder from mid on into position. And in the meantime, he collects a single. And that single will carry into 23. It brings Paris on 41 from 46 deliveries on to strike. And it is now 69 for 1. Chasing 78. So for Paris, the deep mid wicket goes out onto the boundary. Here is Seeley, and Paris is onto the front foot. Wants a single and will get it too effortlessly up to the fielder who's in from the mid-off position. He was mid-on for the right-hander, mid-off for the left-hander. And at the end of over number 19, 70 for the loss of 1. Combermere seeking 78 for victory with Jahidi Hines on 23 not out. Wonderful, sedated in his good patience, good control. 51 deliveries he's faced. And the more aggressive Justin Paris, who failed in the first innings with the bat, only got 2. Now he has 40 more. He has 42 from 47 deliveries.
Certainly looking the part. And he found a good partner in Hines, who's on 23, who really had a wonderful game. Bowling-wise, batting-wise, and then he kept wicket as well. Really one for the future, one you must keep your eyes on. But as I said earlier, it's easy sailing here for the Combermere side. And barring something miraculous happens here, I don't see no way.
Something miraculous is about to happen because Sargent finally comes off.
Oh, yeah. But I just wanted to tell you, Lyndon, you asked about loans, but just to inform you that if you're seeking any kind of loan at all, please call Mr. Mason. He's a thousandaire, and I'm sure he'll lend you something, or even give you. So just to let you know that.
Which Mason is that?
Andrew
Mason.
Yeah.
Wow. Short ball pulled over backward square for 6. Massive shot by Paris. He moves to 48. He can reach his 50, and the total is now 76 for the loss of 1. So the equation is simple: 2 runs for Paris 50, 2 runs to win, and Nichols, Bacon, Combermere, the players begin to draw close to the boundary line where they will prepare to run onto the field. And here is the delivery tossed up and blocked. Bell in his first over. So Paris wasn't quite ready. He has 48 from 48 deliveries. Jaden Bell, right arm leggy, is in. And onto the front foot comes Paris. Plays in the offside, there's no run. So the mad scramble onto the field has been halted momentarily. And Paris on 48 waits on Bell, the right arm leg spinner. And he stretches forward, plays the ball to the fielder at the short mid-off position. He remains on 48, having faced some 50 deliveries. 76 for 1, the target 78. This is the 20th over. And Nichols, Bacon, Combermere just maybe a stroke away from victory as Bell is in. A delivery which is short, worked into the leg side. It will take one. The sweeper hurries off the square leg boundary. The scores are leveled, 77 for 1. And with that single, it means that Paris is on 49. And Jahidi Hines has an opportunity to win the game. He has 23. And here is Bell on the way into both the Hines, and Hines stretches forward and goes for the winning run into the offside. And Nichols, Bacon, Combermere have won the Barbados Cricket Association's Under 15 cricket title 2024 with a comprehensive 9 wickets victory over rivals Milo Lodge, finishing on 78 for 1 of 19.5 overs. Jahidi Hines, 24 not out from 52 deliveries, and Justin Paris, not out 49 from 51 deliveries, reaching the target at 78 for 1. Donovan.
Yeah, certainly. Very good win for Nichols, Bacon, Combermere. They really showed their mettle throughout this encounter. When they were down, they bunked up again, and they got right back up on their feet, and they played some wonderful cricket. The captain, Paris, who not only bowled well, he had a very good innings here, 49 not out, and really paved the way for his side getting up to this 78 runs for victory. The Milo Lodge, well, they really did well to make it here to the final, so kudos must go to them as well, along with their coaching staff. They had a wonderful season, but in the end, it was all Combermere. Getting over the line here. Nichols, Bacon, Combermere getting over the line, playing some good cricket throughout the 3 days.
So, with the news that give you this Combermere scorecard, Hines was not out 24 of 52 deliveries. That is Jahidi Hines, Khalid Fort. He was caught by Mason off the ball. The keeper off the ball was Sean Sargent for 1. Justin Paris, not out 49, how well he played. 51 deliveries and a total of 78 for 1 of 19.5 overs with 4 extras, 3 byes and 1 leg bye. Let me give you the bowling figures for the Lodge School, who utilized 3 bowlers, and the bowling figures reflect Liam Seeley, 10 overs, 3 maidens, none for 23, 10, 3, 23, 3, none for 23, sorry. Sean Sargent, he sent on 9 overs, no maidens, 1 for 43. Shanico Sargent, 9 overs, no maidens, 1 for 43. And Jaden Bell, given the over that just signaled the end of the game, he sent down 5 deliveries and conceded 8 runs as Combermere romped home by 9 wickets in 19.5 overs, finishing on 78 for 1. Extras were just forward. So, in essence, Combermere are repeat champions of the Barbados Cricket Association Under 15 title played here at the Rubis grounds for 2024. Nichols, Bacon, Combermere defeating Milo Lodge.
Yeah, certainly. Good performances throughout. Justin Paris really, he bowled well. He got a lot of bunks, he got a lot of turn, and he was accurate at 98% of the times. Really, young Liam Seeley, he also looks a bright a prospect, getting 6 in the first innings. He also had great control. Sargent, who got 4 in the first innings, he was also pretty good. But the one player that really stands out for me in my mind is that of young Hines. He got half century in the first innings. He got 24 not out here. He also was among the wickets.
4 for 9.
4 for 9. He was up in pace. He was accurate. Really
kept wickets.
Kept wicket as well. So he really had a wonderful match. And if I had to pick a man in the match, it was up to me. I would go with young Hines.
Well, I definitely wouldn't question that at all because he was outstanding. His 51 came in good time, aggressive player, very tall, very elegant, very upright. And he has some gas about him when he bowls. He's above medium and really hurried the batsman with his, especially in his opening burst. And he came back in the second innings, scoring 24 not out in the second innings. Good control, good temperament, reading the game well, and definitely the standout between the two sides. But we also saw some good support. Young Justin Paris picking up a fifer and then returning to score 49. Didn't get any in the first innings and showing his class. Remember, he does play at the elite level, which is value for his experience. And when he comes back down to into his age group, he's really showed his class over his age group. And he was outstanding, and we can't underestimate the performance of the off spinner, Liam Seeley, who picked up 6 for 32. 6 for 32. And a good control, good guile, good variation with his off spin. And in the end, he made a valuable contribution as well. So all in all, despite the fact it wasn't a high-scoring game, it was a very competitive game. And I think in essence what we're really missing would have been some aggressive stroke play or some players to be a little bit aggressive in between rather than just looking to occupy the wicket without getting any scores. Hence, the lowest scoring game, 97 and 93 to Lodge and 113 to Combermere and 78 for 1. We're going to have some interviews lined up for you. The captain will be joining us of the successful Nichols Bacon Combermere side. We're also going to hear from the captain of the Lodge side as well as the coaches. So, Don?
Yes. We again, congratulations to Nichols Bacon Combermere. But I've seen what's been on display. I've seen the younger ones. I'm very impressed, and I'll say the future is very bright.
Victory for the Combermere side, doing extremely well, and certainly it's a pleasure to have the captain with us. We're going to be talking to him very, very soon. Indeed, 78 for 1, representing a very, very big victory for the Combermere side. And the reality is that overall, from what I saw, the team is a very, very good one. No doubt about that at all. The captain led from in front with his bowling, and then again, when he had to bat, he made 49. And the reality is that, to me, they were the better side. Lodge threatened on the second day, but then certainly on the third day, the wickets of Gittins and Sargent, very important, and it meant that when Combermere batted a second time on a pitch which was pretty good for cricket, they were able to chase down those runs very, very comfortably indeed. So 78 for a loss of 1, and certainly the pitch was a good one, no doubt about that. I thought that on the first day, a good toss to win, and then certainly they made good weather in terms of the overall performance of the Combermere side to restrict Lodge to just 97. Was a pretty good effort on their part. And then they were in some trouble, Nichols Bacon Combermere at one stage, and in the final analysis they were able to get a lead of 16. It may appear to be small, but the reality is that it was crucial. And then the game was very well set up with the Combermere side finding some resistance from Lodge, thanks to some good batting from Gittins, who's a good left-handed player, along with Sargent. But then Justin Paris, the captain, brilliant in terms of strategy, was able to actually win the game for the Combermere side. So, it's my pleasure to introduce the captain of the winning side, with a smile as broad as Waterford. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, fine. Nice to see you. First of all, you look at your dad, same physical appearance. Now, Talk to me about the performance of your side.
Um,
You came here as defending champions. The first thing you did was that you won the toss. That was a good toss to win.
it was. This side is a pretty young side because a lot of first farmers that just came into the school are playing. But all the fellas have to take charge. GD, Khalid, and I had to step in a bit.
Yeah, indeed. And you won the toss. You decided to send your opponents in, and you dismissed them for 97 on a pitch that was a bit.
I didn't really know it was the last ball he did.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I just thought it was the last ball he overside.
Okay,
So
I
just
see.
bowl and see what happens.
And you thought you had your man because you
Yeah.
ran almost home, really.
I thought I had it, but
You thought you had him.
going out with it last night.
Yeah,
It was a bit high.
it was a bit high. So good decision by the umpire.
Yeah, it was.
How was the pitch? How did you find the pitch for the 3 days?
As I said in the morning, it's a bit slow, so you have to wait the ball. That's how he got out. I didn't wait at the ball. He pushed out the ball too early in the first innings. But it's a bit slow and things are harder and get dry late in the day.
Interesting that you've chosen leg spin, which is a rarity in the Caribbean. We've got a lot of our spinners. We've certainly got a lot of medium pacers and 1 or 2 quick bowlers. Why you chose to bowl leg spin?
It was basically my father. I was bowling medium pace at first.
Okay,
My father just showed me this video showing one bowling.
okay, he
Yeah.
did. All right.
Yeah, they're
So he's a big
interesting.
influence in your life, your father.
Yes, please.
Wonderful. And you got the googly too, because we begin to wonder. Some of the commentators were saying you didn't have it, but you certainly bowled it quite well.
Yeah, I was working on a lot in practice recently. I just learned bowl from Shane Warren.
Yeah, Shane.
Yes, please.
Is he your favorite cricketer, Shane
Yes,
Warne?
please.
Okay. And in terms of West Indian, who's your favorite West Indian cricketer? You have one?
Shea Hope.
Why Shea Hope?
I just let the cover drive.
Okay. It would appear as if a lot of our young cricketers like Shea Hope. You like his cover drive.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
Yes, please.
Okay. What did he say to you? What did you say to him?
He said, just keep going with cricket. It
Oh,
works out
right.
in the back end.
Right. Now, do you want to make cricket a career?
Yes, please.
Okay. What about your academics? What are you doing at school?
I'm doing, I think it's technical drawing and
Right.
CSAT PE,
Right.
and obviously maths and English.
Maths and English. You got to do your maths and English. Okay, so let's now look at the last day. The game very well set up. I thought that Milo Lodge did very well on the second day, and your thinking was to bowl your leg breaks wide, and certainly Hines was wide the off stump as well. You got the big snappers, and in the final analysis, having started the day in a reasonable position, it was a situation where Lodge were all out for 93. It was a good effort in your part.
Yes, it was. It was.
Mm-hmm.
The fielding today looked a lot better.
Right. The feeling of the Combermere side?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We had a long meeting this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the coaches told us, just give it our all.
Okay.
If you give it all, you can't leave back nothing on the field. Everything has to be done on the field.
Right.
Not off.
And you're a man with a great deal of passion when you got your wickets. In fact, the first wicket you got today, you actually ran, having ball out to mid-wicket, and you took the catch.
Yeah.
That was yours.
In the morning, it was just thanks. So I thought I had to do everything myself. but it
Right.
wasn't.
Indeed, right. How important is Hines in your setup? And Fort, people talk about Fort, the blocker, but he looks good. And that partnership of 76 set you up. Although you didn't make a lot of runs in the first innings, tell us a bit about young Fort.
He was just told to play his role.
Okay.
Early up in the season, he wasn't as confident as he was coming into the final.
Right.
But the coaches were with him and just told him to play his role.
Right. And also playing the role was fibrous.
Yeah.
No, people will say he batted slow, but I thought it was an important knock from him because it was a difference in terms of getting the first innings points and then that slender lead of 16. Tell us a bit about Fibrous.
Fabregas, he bats well.
He does.
If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have been in this situation that we were this morning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But his batting is definitely improving.
Interestingly enough, that Hines doesn't only open the batting and the bowling, but he also keeps. What's the thinking there with Hines?
For different balls, I will bowl. So
Okay, I
he would
see.
usually come in after he done bowl. He would usually come in when I'm bowling.
Mm-hmm.
So that if my googly goes on the leg side,
Right.
he skip around or If I bowl in my off break, you see it out of my hand or what's not.
I also saw yesterday you bowled a pretty quick delivery, really. I mean, you looked as if you bowled an off break. Then you bowled a pretty sharp delivery there as well. It was almost a medium pace. What was the thinking there?
I was working on nets.
Okay.
I heard Shonico's father saying, "Bat me off your back foot." So
Okay. So you want to call? Yeah. Okay, on the back foot. Interesting. All right, I'm going to let you go very, very soon. What does this victory mean to you and the wonderful people at Combermere? What does it mean?
Having been the second trophy that I won in the last 2 years for Combermere is really important to me. And Stuart really, especially emotions when it comes to winning trophies for Combermere.
Right. And any celebrations planned for the evening? Or are you going to take it easy?
We don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know yet? Then maybe a surprise?
The coaches.
Yeah. And how important are the coaches?
Mr. Yard and Mr. Edwards are very important when it comes to us getting practice and matches and strategy, that kind of thing. Also, my father is a bit of a coach at Combermere.
Yes.
But they are really important to set up.
Right. And you would want, of course, to thank the many people who came, the parents that came. Your father was there watching. We also saw some other fathers. Shonico's father was here. Liam Seeley's father was here as well. What do you have to say to them in terms of support?
There's a lot of support around the youth cricket.
Right. So, and as I said, I'm going to let you go now. But just finally, you're now playing at the higher level. Of course, you played on the 15 for Barbados, but in your first match, you got 47 runs. How was that experience?
I was a bit nervous.
You were nervous?
Yes, please.
All right.
I was a bit nervous, but I should have led home the game for Barbados. But it didn't work out in the end.
Right. I want to thank you for coming and talking to us. The whole of Barbados seeing you. I think you've got a good head, and I wish you well, and I hope that you'll continue to go from strength to strength. You're an inspiration, and I'm a little bit emotional because from what I saw from you as a leader, I've been very critical of captains over the years. But young man, keep the faith, and I expect you to do well, not only for Combermere, but for this wonderful country. Thanks for coming to the microphones.
Thank you.
There you go. So there you have it. The captain of their side, the winning side, the business of a leader is to turn obstacles into stepping stones and disaster into triumph. So we heard from the captain of the winning side. Now it's our turn to talk to the captain of the side that didn't win. We're not going to call you losers by any stretch of the imagination. Liam Seeley comes to talk to us now. Hello, Liam. How are you?
I am good.
Good. Okay. Look at me, my friend. Don't be nervous. What went wrong in your view? Talk to me.
I didn't think that we were disciplined enough to win today. I think we were a little bit lackadaisical in the field, and also the batting. I don't think we put our heads down enough to battle and wait till the Combermere boys made a mistake. Cause in this junior cricket, whenever you wait, the boys will get frustrated and start to bowl bad, and then you put away those bad balls.
Right. Okay. So let's go from the very beginning of the game. You came here. In fact, when you played against Combermere in the preliminary rounds, you actually lost first innings points to them. The defending champions, you were asked to bat, and you made just 97. How were the conditions in terms of the pitch? Was it difficult to bat on?
Yeah, I would say so, because I've not heard cricket play here in a while, so the pitch might not have been suitable to bat on the first day, especially. So we were setting, and as I said, I don't think we were disciplined enough. So we did not put on our heads to bat.
Right. Okay. And you just made 97. Shonico Sargent, your big batsman, along with Gittins. Gittins was a little unfortunate with the high ball. Sargent got an injury. That seemed to have affected him a lot in terms of his batting.
Yeah. Shonico, I think when he played a drive, he leaned a little too much, and he
hurt his back. I think.
Yeah,
indeed. All right. And you came out, didn't get many runs in the first innings. What happened there?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I picked the googly.
You picked it?
But it was sharp.
Right. And
So I got far, but then I came back, and it was a little
Oh.
bit too late when I came back. So
okay.
I missed it.
Oh, missed it, and they were giving out leg before. All right. So you made 97. By the end of the day, Combermere were doing very well. They were 76 without loss. But I thought that Milo Lodge actually won the exchanges on the second day because you were able to bowl them out for 113. You bowled well, you got 6 wickets, and Sargent gave good support. Talk to us about that.
Yesterday, the whole season, we came back very well. The first innings was not good at all, but when we came back on the second day and the second innings, we put all our performance together to win the game. And my 6 wicket haul, I think that was probably one of my best bowling figures. Actually, my second best bowling figures for the season. In the semi-final, I took 7 for 11, but
Okay.
and Shawnee Cole, he's been bowling good all season. Probably has like 4 or 5 fifers for the season.
Okay.
And then this game, he came back, took 4 the first innings, and then I guess in the second innings with a little bit less runs to work with.
Right.
And then sometimes the fielding wasn't too bad.
Right.
Just had some balls that went through the boys, but I guess it just put us under pressure, so we got a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, because actually going into the last day, you had a chance. You had about 60 runs on the board, but you weren't able to push on because from that 76 for 3, you were then all up for just 93. So you lost 7 wickets today for what, 23 runs. You would have been disappointed with that, Liam.
Very disappointed, yeah.
Indeed. Now, your father, Anderson Seeley, left-arm spinner, playing for Banks, and one season got 98 wickets. He was here supporting you. What does that support mean to you?
The support means to me that I can have confidence during the game. It will help me with the fields that for my bowling and stuff like that. The lengths I have to bowl and the lines and sometimes even the balls to bowl.
Right, indeed. All right, well, I'm going to let you go pretty soon. But, I asked Justin about his favorite cricketer at the international level. Who's your favorite cricketer?
Jason Holder.
Jason Holder. Why Jason Holder? Tell me.
As a captain for the West Indies, he showed good discipline and he played some good cricket in that time. He scored runs all the time and he always took wickets.
Right, indeed. Have you ever met him?
I have a picture with him, but
you have a picture of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never really met him like that.
What I'm going to do, he's my favorite cricketer too, although I've criticized him several times. I have his number, I hope he answers the phone when I call, and try and set that meeting between yourself and Jason Holder. You like that, wouldn't you?
I would love that.
All right. So, of course, finally, you want to congratulate the winners.
Actually.
Okay, so congratulate them, please, my friend.
Congrats to Combermere on winning their second and the 15th final.
All right, thanks very much indeed. So Liam Seeley coming to talk to us here, and we wish you well. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. Young man with a lot to offer, and it certainly is an absolute pleasure to talk to these young men. We heard from Justin Paris, a very good cricketer, and also from Liam Seeley. It was really good to actually talk to these gentlemen. So just before we go, just a quick wrap. Maybe if Lyndon can come and let's wrap it up. And it's really an honor to be very much a part of this team. And we also be looking to the presentation as well. So we're going to be doing the presentation, which should come very soon. So we're going to be here maybe until about 9 o'clock tonight. How are you, Lyndon? Talk to me about these young men. They speak so well.
Oh, I was very
wonderful
impressed
indeed.
with both captains, the way they spoke, the choice of words, the fact that they were able to
I wasn't too
express
difficult
themselves.
in questioning, was I?
No.
For once, I just cooled down a little bit,
I thought they handled you well.
I like that one. Beautiful indeed. Wonderfully said indeed. But, to hear Justin Paris talk about his father and the influence of his father, talking to him last night and saying, cool down. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, JP's that kind of individual, so he expected that JP would have done that. As a matter of fact, before he left, he said, well, I'm going to go up the road now, have a chat with the little man, see what he was thinking, what was the thought process. And clearly, and the important thing for me then is that JP would listen to him first, see where he was going with his thought process in terms of how the game was positioned, how the game was meandering along, and then he would add his input to it. Hey, you're not under pressure. You're ahead of the game.
Right.
You know, and something as simple as that could take the pressure off him, because he said he was feeling the pressure, that he was under pressure. And I think he was just looking at it from a scoring perspective, where they had only scored 97, to which they would have gotten a reply with 113 to 97 made by the law school. And get him to calm down, get him to understand how the game is positioned, certainly made a significant difference. And listening to how long Liam Seeley spoke, extremely impressive, because you can see that his father obviously plays a role with him understanding the game.
Yes.
I think that's the key there, understanding the game. He said the guy, and he wasn't too harsh, which
No.
was the key. He was not harsh on his players
Right.
who underperform. He said, you know, there was some signs of nerves, you know, a couple of misfields, a couple of miscatches, but he wasn't harsh on them, because he understand that the game goes back and forth.
Right. That's true.
Especially you play it by sessions, basically, you know, and at this stage they got to enjoy it and express themselves. So I love the way that both young men spoke, and I think that the future is really bright.
Right. Well, thanks, Lyndon, for coming and talking to us. Of course, we'll continue to talk to the coaches in a short while, coming to call in to be very much a part of this. So thanks, Lyndon, for coming through and talking to us. We've actually got the coach of the Milo Lodge team who spoke to us on the first or second day, and he comes a call in to talk to us. Clinton Phillips, a man who's been around for 32 years and tells me he wants to continue as the coach for another 32. So, the microphones are with you. Hello, my friend, how are you? You lost today, what went wrong?
I'm fine. I don't think anything went wrong, Andrew. It's a cricket game.
It's a cricket game.
One team will come out on top,
Right.
and one will not. So
Okay.
I don't think anything went wrong. You know, I thought the guys, you know, two very low totals
Right.
that we recorded. So the guys fought with it, and you know, things have to go right from early
Right.
to be able to defend 72 runs.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought that Combermere batted positive. Hines is a good player. Captain Paris is a good player as well. And they won comfortably 78-1. Very easy victory for them in the end.
Yes, and first of all, let me congratulate the Combermereans.
Yeah, you should.
You know, we've had many tussles, you know,
Yeah.
and they've come out on top on this one. So I want to congratulate them for the brand of cricket, you know, the kind of cricket they're playing, and they really deserve it.
Now, let's spend some time on the third day. You were not in it on the first day. You came back very well on the second day. On the third day, you were looking obviously to get a decent score to defend, but then Gittins and Sargent got out cheaply. Paris bowled well. Had you got more runs, it might have been a different ball game.
Well, yes, we knew that we needed minimum of a 120, 150,
right.
anything in that region. And with Gittins and Sargent there overnight, you know, we felt confident that we could have gotten to a total that, you know, would have created a challenge, because we recognized that in the end yesterday, we actually got Combermere's 10 wickets yesterday for 37 runs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so in the back of our minds, we felt if you can get 120, 150 would have been a little more assured, but it was not to be. You know, the batsmen got out, and it was always going to be a struggle. If you didn't start bang on first over or two, it was always going to be a struggle with just 72 runs.
Talk to me about some of the performances of your side, Milo Lodge. We saw Liam Seeley, the captain, bowling beautifully, picking up 6 wickets, and Sargent supported with 4. So your off spinners got all the wickets for the Milo Lodge team when Combermere batted first.
Yes, well, I think there are 2 quality players.
Yes.
To begin with, two players with pedigree.
Yes.
Because you said, as you know, that's Anderson Seeley.
Yes.
And then Shawnico is the son of Sean Sargent,
Yes,
who was prolific at the under 15 level, and you know, didn't do quite as we expected at the higher level. So they know what they're about. You know, they would have been born into the cricket scene. You know, so they did what they were supposed to do.
Tell me, so how old is Seeley now? Can he play with you again?
Seeley can play next year.
And Sargent?
Sargent can play next year.
Okay, so you got some
You
good
know,
quality
Gittins can play next
Gittins.
year.
I like Gittins.
Right. But remember, I told you yesterday, I think we were like a year ahead
Yeah,
of our 4-year plan.
Yeah, indeed.
You know, so the whole idea is to have players who can constantly come back.
Right.
Our little keeper, he's now gone into second form.
That's young Mason?
Young Mason.
Young Mason. Must be really
What a
good.
name. What a
name to have. Yeah, yeah.
You know, but I think he's quality.
Yeah, yeah.
He's quality.
How old is he?
He will just turn 12.
All right. So we're preparing for the presentation. Let's go across and join the presentation. Just waiting to join for that presentation. We're going to try and bring that to you. So when we're ready, we'll be in a position to go across. So let's just continue our conversation. The presentation is just about to start. Of course, tremendous celebration is going to be in Waterford, having won the under-15. They came as the defending champions. Are we ready to go across for the presentation? We'll be ready in a minute or two, or a couple of seconds. So just waiting to get that direction. And once that is done, let's go across to the presentation.
Mention and ask all gathered here to say congratulations to the winners for 2024, Nichols Baking Combermere. It is also my pleasure to introduce to you the officials from the Barbados Cricket Association who are going to be joining us and participating in this ceremony. To my far left, Mr. Clement De Pisa, a board director, and to his right, Mr. Gregory Nichols, secretary of the Barbados Cricket Association, assisted by Ms. Nicola Graves and Ms. Erin Dean from the operations department at the BCA. Before I go any further, though, I'm going to ask the secretary, Mr. Nichols, to come forward and offer a few words of wisdom. And notice I said a few.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me thank all of you for participating in a successful final today. We have a winner and we have a loser. But first of all, I think we should congratulate both teams for a very spirited performance on all of the days of the game. I have, in recent times, had more opportunity to look at the younger players of our game, having a son who's just entered secondary school, and I've been watching the under-8 competitions just after the COVID period for the last couple of years. And I am convinced, and I tell my colleagues on the board that at that level, and certainly evidenced by the spirited way the game was played, cricket is healthy at this stage in Barbados. And we have seen some very brilliant performances in the game. It was played with the spirit that I expect a Combermere Lodge battle to be played. So congratulations again to both of you. The Combermere team has come out victorious again, and I look at the brochure. This competition has started after the Ronald Tree Cup was disbanded. So since 1986, Combermere has gone to the finals on, I think, 15 occasions and has won 12 of those tournaments. It is a testimony to the ethos of the school and the spirit of the school to win 12 out of 15 tries at this level. Law School has come and won this competition on 4 occasions, I believe. And I want to warn the Combermereans, as a Combermerean myself, that it doesn't end here, because I believe the reverse is at the under-19 level, where there are more cups being won at that level. So for those of you from the Law School, don't feel dispirited. You will probably meet all of these Combermereans and a lot more of them in years to come, and continue to keep the rivalry healthy and competitive. This competition has one flaw. It is not the great coaching that has brought the two teams to the finals. It is not the umpires who have done work to ensure that the game is played fairly. The challenge that we face is not the parents who have supported you in buying gear and making sure you go to practice and your coaching sessions. It's not the coaches. The challenge we have is that this competition does not have a sponsor. And in a society where we are asking young people to do positive things and engage themselves in wholesome activities, it is really a travesty, in my view, that corporate Barbados has abandoned the under-15 cricket competition by giving no sponsorship at all. And I say that without any reservation because we can't have these young men sacrificing their entire summer, the coaches, the parents, for no reward whatsoever. And we have to continue as a society to invest in young people. This tournament used to have a corporate sponsor, and I'm saying that it's time for a look at how we treat to young people and in wholesome activities. I'm not here to spoil the party because I'm sure there will be appropriate celebrations, but I want to assure you that we in the Barbados Cricket Association will continue to look at the way in which we create the career pathways for our young people to progress in a game, which is now a very lucrative career. I want to tell you, right, as a practicing lawyer, the cricketers who play cricket make way more money than we as lawyers can make at the international level. When you get onto the international franchise, and I'm talking to you, the players from Lodge and Combermere, right? My good friend, son Liam, who played very well and bowled Lodge back into the game. All of you guys, Justin, I know a couple of the guys, sorry, I'm not calling all their names. All of you guys have the opportunity to make decent livings off of the game that you love. This game will be as good to you as you are to it. Put in the hard work. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the information that is available to you, and this game will do well for you in the future. It is the one endeavor that the Barbadian people over many, many years have excelled internationally across the globe to be the best in the world at anything. Cricket is the legacy of this country. Someone once said that Barbados is spelled C-R-I-C-K-E-T, and that is very true. You have a foundation that has been laid, and I dare say that if you continue on that trajectory, our future looks bright. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for enjoying those few words.
Thank you. I also did mention wise words, and you did live up to my expectations. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So we'll move without any further ado on to the presentation to the important recipients of such awards and prizes. And we're going to start with some people who play a very, very important, significant role. I'm talking about the officials. You know, a cricket match doesn't start without a scorer and two umpires. So this evening, I'm going to ask the three officials for this match to come forward in any order, but I'm going to call the names in the order as I see them. Mr. Clyde Allen, who was the reserve umpire, Mr. Ernley Fields, and Mr. Sam Sargent, who were the umpires on the field of play. That's Mr. Clyde Allen. Mr. Fields is next up, followed by Mr. Sargent. So those presentations made by Mr. DePisa, who is going to stay on the front line. He will make the presentations to the next set of awards, which will be the individual awards throughout the competitions for performances throughout the competition, starting with the prize for the batsman with the most runs. I see here he scored 515 runs. He comes from the Nichols Baking, Combermere. His name is Jahidi Hines. Well done, young man. The bowler with the most wickets, he got 47 wickets from Nichols Baking, Combermere, Justin Paris. We have a tie in the area of the wicket keepers. wicket keepers with the most dismissals, 5 each. Gavin Firebrace from Nichols Break in Combermere. And from Milo Lodge, Malachi Mason. The fielder with the most catches, 14, Nichols Bacon, Combermere, Justin Paris. The batsman with the highest individual score, 127, Jahidi Hines, Nichols Bacon, Combermere. The bowler with the best bowling analysis, we're going to break the monotony now. No Lodge, no Combermere. St. Leonard's boys, Kieran Gittins, 9 for 25, 9 wickets for 25 runs. I would have to ask him, the other player got run out? The other batsman that was dismissed, he was run out? Congratulations to you. And I see Mr. Franklin over there. I'm sure he's a very proud games teacher at the St. Leonard's School. So we go into I'm going to ask Mr. Nichols to come forward again and make this next set of presentations, if you don't mind, sir. This is the presentations for the player of the match in the 2 semi-finals, starting with semi-final 1, Combermere School, Nichols Baking, Combermere, and the Christchurch Foundation School, 70 with the bat and 6 for 18 with the ball. Justin Paris from Combermere. Well done. Semi-final number 2, St. Leonard's Boys School versus Milo Lodge. And for 50 runs and 6 wickets for 23 runs, Shonico Sargent of Milo Lodge. Then, before you move, Mr. Secretary, we have the presentation to the player of the match in today's game, in this game, the final. And it was a tight one as far as I was concerned, but those responsible for the adjudication have chosen a return of 2 for 27 and 5 for 26 with the ball, 2 in the first innings and 49 not out in the second innings. From the Nichols Baking Combermere, Justin Paris, player of the match, final. And we had one more prize to collect. Justin, come back. I ain't going to any no long description. 56 runs, 47 wickets. Justin Paris for the best all-rounder in the competition. So yes, thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. De Pisa, if you can come forward one more time. We have to make the presentations to the zone winners in the competition. Of course, we had 3 zones in this year's competition. Starting with Zone A, Combermere. Captain Justin Paris once again. Zone B, St. Leonard's Boys School. This is obviously the captain. He made his way down here specifically for this. Congratulations to St. Leonard's, winners of Zone B in this year's competition. And the winners of Zone C, the Christchurch Foundation School. Yes, the question was asked, how come Lodge got into the final? The best second place team beat one of the zone winners to get in the final. Yeah. Mr. De Pisa, hold your ground. We are going into the runners-up medals, the silver medals that go to the runners-up in the final, which of course is the Milo Lodge School. I ask the captain, Mr. Seeley, Liam Seeley, to come forward to receive his medal. And then join me, because he will help me to identify the other members of his team. Congratulations and well done, Liam. The mic is yours. Call your men forward.
Shanko Sergeant. Zion Topping. Levi Rowe. Shakobi Gittins. Jaden Bell. Malachi Mason. Kavio Bellamy. Joshua Barrow. Keniko Darlington. Jose Dubois. Andre Small. Haniko Proverbs. Reese. Davon Reese.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liam. Don't go anywhere, though, Liam. You come back here because you are going to receive, on the behalf of the Lodge School, the trophy for the runners-up in the 2024 BCA Schools Under 15 competition. Milo Lodge, the runners-up. Losing finalists, I see here. Now we're going to ask Mr. Nichols once again to make the, well, not exactly the final, but almost final set of presentations. The gold medals that go to the winners, gold for the winners, and the Captain Paris, he will come forward as Mr. Seeley did, receive his medal, and then he will join me here to identify his players. Justin Paris of the Combermere School, captain of the winning side in the final.
Jahidi Hines. Akin Hartley. Azari Butcher. Khalid Ford. Najee Ward. Wild Devonish. Aaron Barton. Gavin Frybers. Amar Stanford. Marcus Stevenson Jackman. Amari Thompson. Joshua Stevenson Mears. Omari Daniel Hood. Marlano Joseph. Deshaun Brown. Kimar Foster.
Well done to all of you, Mr. Nichols. Stay put. One more presentation, the big one. The presentation for the Winners' Trophy, which goes this year. The Barbados Cricket Association's Schools Under 15 Winners 2024. Nichols Baking, Combermere. Trophy received by the captain, Justin Paris. Now we're going to ask the Combermere team to come and join your captain for the final photograph and to say farewell. So this is going worldwide, this presentation being streamed and shown on CBC television. So you put on your best face, gentlemen. You're going to the world.
Side, they came here as the defending champions, and it was a comprehensive performance by them. They go back to Waterford still as champions, and to be honest with you, from what I saw, they richly deserve to have won this game. 97 and 93 to Milo Lodge, never ever going to be enough. 113 to the Nichols Bacon Combermere, and set 78 for victory. They won on a canter, 78 for 1, led by their two most influential players in Hines and Captain Paris, who spoke to us earlier. And we really want to congratulate the Combermere team for winning. We hope you enjoyed our coverage half as much as we enjoyed presenting to you. I want to thank the BCA. I want to thank Mr. David Green and his team, the commentators as well. Of course, the Student Revolving Loan Fund, very much a part of this. And of course, we want to thank the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation for making sure that all of Barbados and the world saw these youngsters perform. It was a tremendous performance from them. So, for the final time, Andrew Mason, on behalf of the team, saying goodbye from the Rubis Sports Club on the outskirts of the nation's capital.